I'm here to bring some much needed feminine energy to the twisted town of Holly Weird, and I don't intend to do so quietly. Kendall in Wonderland, how do I get to Wonderland? Over the canyon, past the stand, I sit amongst the trees. Ew, is that sap on my ass? Kendall in Wonderland. No, like I'm really ADHD in case you can't tell. How do we get to Wonderland? In your heart there is a plan that leads you to your dreams. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kendall in Wonderland. Please meet one of my favorite people, Eleanor Kerrigan. This is going to be part one of my talk with Eleanor because we talked a long ass time.
A long time.
It was more of a therapy session than anything. So
Definitely.
We laughed, we cried. It was amazing. It was a 2-woman show. From being one of 10 kids to a waitress at the world famous comedy store, to former assistant to the store's owner, Mitzi Shore, to professional wrestler, to now my actual favorite comic, tours with Dice, tours with Andrew Dice Clay, and the only woman who could make it onto my family Christmas card on a stripper pole. And I'm the only woman who would drive me home high one night and let me take the homeless dog I found on the street home. Please meet one of my favorite people, Eleanor Kerrigan.
Hi. I love to pick up a stray dog in the middle of the night.
That was the best one night stand I ever had. I woke up the next day, I was like, you whore. Who did you take home? Because, at that point in my life, it was all sorts of dogs.
You just saw the wagging tail and you're like, oh, another dog.
I know. I was like, oh, great. This one's shaped like a dick. Because it's better than being attached to a man. And it was the best decision ever because she ended up being she's been my dog for 7 years. So
I love her.
Ginger.
Sorry if my eyes are tearing. In the mornings I get allergies, so it's like
it's okay.
It's
fine. Also okay if we're crying. Like, you're welcome to cry.
Oh yeah. If it was a real cry, you'd look like Alice Cooper. You'd see my makeup running,
the fake eyelashes like down.
Yeah. Hanging off. I can't even put fake eyelashes on because of my stupid allergies.
No, I can't do it either. I was told, I had multiple friends sit me down and say, Kendall, you got to lose the lashes. Like, it's not working for you.
Listen, I've met people in airports that I want to be like, who told you to wear those? Like, you listen to me. Your friends aren't your friends. You have to take those off. If your eyelashes and your nails are the same length and your eyelashes are hitting the top of your hairline, no, that's too high. That's not cute. No, it's crazy. No, and then they look uncomfortable. People are like, and they're trying to go in their eye, but
it's hard.
They can't because they're Edward Scissorhands with their nails. Like, it's crazy. Are these all old references?
No, it's so real. No, my whole thing was I would put them on, but I would try to reuse them because I was cheap. So I would put the same ones on. And then they would go, like, they would be having like an erection like this. And my worst, my all is lost moment with the lashes were one of them had fallen off at a piano bar. It was like a drag night at a piano bar. And so I was looking in a reflection of a window trying to fix it, not knowing on the other side of the reflection was where all the drag queens got ready. And they all were watching me on the other side of the glass, and they came out and they were like, honey, no amount of eyelash glue is going to fix that. And when the drag queens tell you, like, you got to, like, I was like, okay, I got to lose the lashes. Yeah.
Just throw them out. We'll make another $2 someday.
It's okay to let them go. It's okay. Yeah. There's so many things to do, like to the beauty with the beauty as like I can't keep up.
I was at a Air One yesterday, and I ran into somebody I've known a long time, and I didn't recognize her because she did so much stuff. I was like, I'm sorry, did you hit a bee's nest and they all got you? They got you at once.
Totally.
You all right? I mean, and
Totally.
then every other person in that place, because most of them are young, so they don't have this, but the older ones that are coming in are like, where's that Halle Bieber shake? I'm like, listen, bitch, you gotta let that go. You gotta go home and deflate. Hire Tom Brady or something to deflate your face, because
Sit on you.
that's
Somebody needs to sit on your
crazy.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's uncomfortable. I'd rather look old. I'd rather be like Betty White. Just
Yeah. She's
lean into
hot.
it.
She's pretty. Aged gracefully, honestly. No, I've had moments where like I
I
had a
wouldn't call
moment
it
where
gracefully, but it's happening.
well, I've had moments where I was in with some friends in LA, or I was in like a restaurant and I look around and I'm like, I think all the girls except for me had the same lips.
Oh yeah,
They were all going, they're
and
all
they all
going
do
just
that.
like,
And if they do too much Botox, they start to talk like Rocky, and they're like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "What's happening? What are you turning into Sylvester Stallone? Why is your face crooked? What are you doing?"
I
Yeah,
know.
just
And I don't have a good face for like the big lips. It would look really, I had multiple, my friends were like, never do that. And yeah, I just,
I have like medium lips, but I used to like my brother Jimmy used to suck his thumb, so his bottom lip is insanely. It's on years of doing that, so they should just tell
oh,
kids to suck their thumb.
yeah.
Little girls, get them ready. But this way they grow up like that. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
gross.
Yeah, natural, like a natural approach. We love that here.
But
So,
everyone used to make fun of my brother Jimmy's lips, and now they're in style.
oh yeah. It's so weird how that happens. Like the big lips are in and then they're not, and then the big ass is in and then it's not, and it's like you just can't keep up.
I like that one because I have a big ass. So, and I've always had, no matter how skinny I
You
am,
do,
I
yeah.
always have a big ass.
Oh, that's I'm jealous of that. Like I don't really it's for me it's the this, but
Oh, but see,
you
I would
know,
like that too. Mm.
I know. But as you do age, and like I know I'm like only 30, but I feel like they just get lower slowly each year.
Well, if they're big, yeah, they start.
Like not
Mine are still perky
sexy.
because they're little girls. I'm so
See?
sorry. We need a real interview. I apologize. Let me
Mine are
show
just kind
you.
of
No, I'm just
primal
kidding.
at this point. No, let's take them out. You're all is
Let's
welcome here.
get some
Okay.
ratings.
Let's just scale of 1 to 10. Everybody can look at my nipple hair if they want, but I just found one. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but and then I'm like just right there. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go to the origin story for you. Why don't you
I
tell?
was coming out of my mom's vagina, and I just remember
Oh,
it doesn't look so safe out here. I want to go back in. And then she
that
kept pushing, and I'm like, no, no. And then
I'm like,
I
I'm gonna
don't
go. I'm
like
gonna
it.
crawl back up.
I hate it here.
Your mom is impressive though. Like I feel like just from the stories you've told me, like she pumped out 10 kids. Like I can barely fucking deal with a tampon. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
easy. That's
I've never
so
even used
impressive.
one of them. That's how crazy I am. But yes. People are
Yeah.
like, I knew she was trans. No, I don't like tampons. I don't like tampons.
Are you just pads?
Yeah, I just patted it out the whole time.
I do
Everyone
that
gets mad at
too.
me.
I
Everyone
do
gets
that
mad at
too.
me. I'm like, I can't. My friend got sick from that when we were kids.
The pads.
The the tampon.
Yeah, they all have like cancer in them.
Toxic
Fucking
something. She had the
crazy.
shock, whatever. It got stuck. I can't
Oh,
think
oh
about it.
God. Oh my
Yeah.
God. No, I feel no, I do the pads. No, because of that, I do the pads too. But it's hard when you're like in a bathing suit or you're like you got like
Oh
the
yeah.
thong thing. I
By the way,
yeah, you
I
have to
used
like
to
then you have to
competitive.
balance it.
I used to competitive swim with the pad.
Oh my God. Did it ever float up to the surface and then you're just like, I don't
No.
know. Oh
No, no, no.
wow.
That thing was
Oh my
in.
God.
That thing. I put a
That's
bottom.
impressive.
I put a bikini bottom and then my full piece. And then just, and my sister was like, I hate you. Just, my older
That's
sister was my
so
coach. And she's like, you're disgusting. And I'm like, go right to the bathroom after.
That's actually so impressive. Wait, I feel like somebody needs to make waterproof pads. Maybe that's where we can make our bread and butter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if
For the girls who
this whole
just
entertainment
can't,
industry
the girls who just
can't,
can't jam it in.
yeah, yes, because that's the only time I did it was when I played water polo, and I put a tampon in because I wasn't as
Wait,
smart as you. I didn't know how to make the pad waterproof.
well, also, you know that when you're in the water, it stops because it doesn't know,
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's
like,
what they
you
say.
know, it doesn't float, whatever, it
Yeah.
stops. And so, because it's pressure or whatever. And so it wasn't as messy. Now, when you get out, it's messy.
Oh,
That's the problem.
it's just going down your leg. Yeah, we had,
So I would
yeah.
just sprint to the bathroom. I'd already know where it was if in case I had a meet that day. And then I do it so fast, no one ever noticed. No one ever noticed. I'm good at hiding stuff.
That is so impressive. Honestly, Eleanor, that's so impressive. Like I'm so like one time I'll never forget. I was in in a film class in college, and it was pretty much the entire class was just me and a bunch of dudes that like really like that got off to like Citizen Kane and like really
Oh,
liked, like Werner Herzog or whatever.
love
And
that.
and I was like, I like Bridesmaids. But anyway, I was just I was sitting there with like my legs spread out like this, leaning back, and
No.
I had these white shorts on, and I just the only other girl in the class who I didn't know that well, I just see her eyes kind of go down, and she goes, and I go, oh, and I like, oh, that's weird, and like whatever. I'm just sitting like a man, it's fine. And then eventually I kind of like, and I'm like, and I realized I had just it was all red, like on the film school. I had to like hide. It was yeah, these white just like a full period stain. So I feel like
I
yeah.
don't have that kind of young confidence. I never had it. I was always shameful from the, I was like, everybody's going to know you have it. Hide it. Quick, hide it. I grew up
I
in such a
know.
shame household. Don't let
I
anybody
know.
see.
I
Don't
know.
tell
And it's
anybody
like
our lights are out. I'm like, yeah, but it's nighttime and there's no lights on. Like everyone else has lights on. I think they know our lights are out.
yeah.
My mother is,
I
they don't need to know. Shut the curtains. All right.
I no, I really I grew up with the same household. Like my but it totally different, but same with like the shame. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
the shame thing. But I was always like, let's talk about it.
Oh
Why
no.
not?
My family would have
No,
passed away if
they
you
didn't
were in
like
it.
I know, probably.
Talk about it.
Probably.
Why do we talk?
Oh God. Yeah, no, my family didn't like to talk
Are
about
you Irish?
no, just a bunch of weird white. Like
Got it.
I'm like, oh, I'm like bad white. I think that I have like relatives that like fucking came over on one side. I have relatives that came over on the Mayflower. It's
Okay.
awful. Like I hate that. Like my grandma would like that was like a would brag about that. Oh, we have relatives that came over on the Mayflower. I'm like, I don't think we should be bragging about that. We like raped all the Native Americans. But no, I have
Inappropriate.
yeah, but I have so there's that, and then on the other, I'm Hungarian on my dad's side.
Okay.
So that side's more like that side's the Miltons. They're from Hungary, and they're kind of like more rough around the edges. It's like so my mom's side is like Cornwall to England, and then German, I think.
Yeah. Our family's all Irish and it's just like no talking, barely hugging. My mom at least hugs. She got that. She was like kinder. But if I hugged my dad, his arms would probably be at his sides. Like, what are you doing? Are
No,
you okay? You need a helmet? You all right?
I I remember we were talking like what was it like last week about and you showed me a picture of your dad. I love he seems like a I was like yeah we had different maybe we had different father.
Oh, yeah, it's different. Your dad's so nice and so sweet.
My dad was like the feminine one in my family. He was like the nurturer more.
Yeah,
My mom had Silicon Valleys by the balls. Like she
right.
ran like
Did
she
you fear your parents at all?
I was really fucking scared of my mom.
Okay.
My mom was a tough lady. I mean, my mom, I would get home from school and she would be on her headset, like screaming at like Tom at Google, be like, you know what, Tom, you can go fuck yourself. And then she'd look at me and be like, honey, frozen melon balls in in the fridge for dessert, like for snack. So it was very like I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say like my mom had her head like in the iCloud and I had my head in like the clouds just because we were like she's very
Yeah.
very like my mom's impressive. I fucking admire her. She's like she was a had to be that way because she was like one of the only women in her field. But
Oh, wow. Okay.
but like
That's great. Yeah, because I feel like
yeah.
that's missing. I feel like kids today aren't afraid of their parents. Like they'll
Oh
literally
yeah.
be like, F you, mom, or you bitch. And I'm like, what?
Oh
What?
no. Oh
Like
yeah.
I wouldn't curse either of my parents. But I mean, my dad, he'd snap you in half, but he left when we were young, so it wasn't, but my mom would threaten you would go to live with him if you messed
Mm.
up. So she knew how to, but she was also a little tough cookie. But if I did something wrong, I'd be like, my mom's gonna kill me. My mom's gonna kill me. Like I feared her for sure. I still do.
Yes.
Just scary.
Yes. No, same. I was
She's
the same with
87,
my
bitch.
mom.
No, I'm kidding.
No, oh my, yeah, she's 87. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Bitch, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I wouldn't. She still hits. She goes, "Ooh." She's so cute.
I know. I love that she seems just like from all the stories you said, she just seemed like such a badass. But it is like yeah, no, I feared my mom like deeply. But I would always want to
Mm.
be like, wait, let's talk about our feelings. No one would talk about
No.
no one like that.
Feelings was a song for us when we were kids. We didn't even
Yeah.
get it. It was like feelings. Oh, feelings. I just remember that like over and over again, the word feelings. And I was like, what's this song about? I don't get it.
I don't have any experience with this. I don't know what they're
So
talking
weird.
about.
So weird. So my dad, this will really creep you out. He owned a typewriter store. So we're wealthy. And he would buy and sell and fix typewriters. And so in the store, somebody gave him like a little cute little radio, like an old timey radio, but it only played one station. Oh my God. And it was like the easy, whatever the channel was that gave it to him was like 101 easy listening or something. And me and my brother Billy were stuck in the typewriter store for hours after school,
Oh,
bored out of it because nobody was coming in. Even then, in the late 80s, people were like, what is this? What is this,
a
a
museum?
mob front? They thought it was a mob front. I was
Oh
like,
my
dude,
God.
mob fronts are lucrative. It's not a mob front. And so, me and Billy would be in there listening to these songs, and it was feelings, like all those kind of songs. We didn't know what
That's
they were, but we know
so
every word
funny.
to them now. We know every word. It's like you're
Wait,
stuck.
wait, that's crazy. So your dad owned a type, so that was his trade, his thing.
Yes, and my grandpa, his father, owned a typewriter store, and my grandpa was really smart, and kind of, but Irish. It's okay. Irish people can be smart, but we also have the Irish, which brings it down a little. And I'll say it why. My grandpa made tools specifically to fix typewriters. Made them himself, literally, right?
Whoa.
People would come in droves. Big corporations would come to my grandpa. Hey, we can't fix this. Okay. Yeah. Did he market those tools? Nay, nay. Because the Irish took over.
He could have like patented that shit.
like, like a huge companies in droves were coming in. In fact, one company, Shields, was huge, and they stole the whole business from my dad.
Oh my God.
Because once my grandpa passed and my dad took over, my dad wasn't really business savvy. He knew what he was doing. He could fix anything, but he wasn't like business wasn't his. Obviously, wasn't my grandpa's either. It was because my grandpa felt like he at least cornered the market. Everybody had to come to
Yeah.
him, and had he marketed those tools, then everybody else could have them, if that makes sense. But
Yes.
what this other guy did was basically he stole the whole business from my dad. And then my dad's company slowly went down. But he's just if I'm like that, like if I'm not good, I'm not business savvy. I don't have that Like, I'll try, but I'm too nice. Like, I remember all these women would come in, like nuns especially, or if they were just secretaries at a Catholic school, my dad would be like, ah, no charge. And I'm like, we haven't eaten. Like, I don't understand. What are you doing?
For
The
a
lights are
second.
out. The lights are out at the house. I know your house isn't, but our house, we have no lights, or the heat's
Hey,
off and
say,
it's.
take a typewriter.
But yeah, he would every time. He would just give it away. I swear to God, he was too nice.
Oh,
He would go out and fix people's machines for free all the time. It was crazy. I did in high school, um, he wasn't like I would be. They'd say, "Oh, your tuition's due," and I'm like, "Oh, I think my dad handles that." Like I wasn't quite sure if it was my mom or my dad. So I go home, and my mom would go, "Are you kidding me?" And so she'd call him because that was his thing. She did everything else. But to keep us in Catholic school, because the public schools were so bad, she felt like if we went to public schools, she'd lose us. Like we would just
yeah.
get, and so the Catholic schools were at least more disciplined. But I can't say they were less bad. I can't say that
Yeah,
because
Catholic school.
yeah, I have one friend doing life in prison, and I have another friend who was arrested at her locker during third period. So, like,
Oh my God.
they were
What was
selling
she?
drugs.
Oh,
So it was
as
happening
one
everywhere.
does.
It
Yeah.
was just, it was happening everywhere. It was just the nuns knew, you felt guilty. They put that Catholic guilt on you. So
Right.
if you had that guilt, you'd be like, oh, okay, because I wasn't afraid of the nuns. I would just be like, all right, yeah, you're right. Like
Yeah. Jesus, go
they'd
burn
hit.
in hell.
Yeah, 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 you have any idea? And now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get to hell. I hate being cold. So
I know. Like,
but I
yeah.
wasn't afraid, but I will say being afraid of my parents kept me straighter, if you will, because there was times I could have easily gone in different directions. I was
Yeah.
close. And because of my parents and my friends who I was close with did do those things, and I have two friends doing life in prison. So uh a boy and a girl. So it's if we were right neck and neck, you know. So
Yeah.
it could have went any direction, but I really believe, and I always say this to like when parents get divorced, you only need one parent that's a good on you and makes you accountable and that kind of thing. Not just with the guilt, but literally holds you accountable for your
Yeah.
actions. And my mom was obviously that person. My dad was, we were like, he was like this thing that we would get threatened by sometimes, like,
Oh,
but he
so
didn't live
bad.
with us. He left when I was 7 or 8. So it was like, yeah, but I could still go out and you can't see me because you don't live in our neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But
Yeah, there's always, yeah, the one parent that you can kind of get away with more with, and then there's but I'm gonna tell your mother. That was for me, but okay, but if
yeah.
you go to mom, oh fuck no, fuck no, like, and I think that is true. I think that having a parent that kind of keeps you, even
Yeah,
if you're
just
scared
one.
of
You can
them,
have the other one be goofy, but the one you need that
that
you
is
need that
true.
one.
That is true. I think that like growing up, I like didn't see it that way at the time. I felt so mad about it. But now I'm like, actually, like my fear of my mother, like I got
Yeah.
good grades because of it. I like, I was like, and I had strong female role model that was like, I'm not
Right.
taking shit from no man.
Same,
Like,
same, same.
yeah. And I think that's so important, Like I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
had two. I was lucky. I had two, my mom and my grandma, because my grandmom helped
Oh,
raise us. So
oh,
yeah, my
yeah.
grandmom was badass. That's my namesake.
Eleanor?
Yeah.
Mm.
She had when she was born, I think her mom died like she did never remember her, right? She was very young. And then she didn't know her father at all. And when she was about 12, and this is, she lived with like family, like she lived with what was what she was told was her father's family. So she grew up with them. And but she didn't know her father. And when she was 12 years old, this one of her uncles died. And when back then they used to hold the wake in the house, like they would put the dead body in the living room. So fucking crazy. And they were doing like the wake viewing, whatever you call it. And so she was there, and somebody looked at her. She was about 12, and somebody said, "That's your father." And she goes, "That guy? That's my uncle." And they're like, "No, no, that was your real father." No one told her until the day he was dead. So she was like, she was orphan technically, but she was just bouncing from weird family member to weird family member. And it really messed with her heart. Like, so her goal was to build a family that was really tight, and that was strong, and everybody knew each other, because she has no idea of her history, nothing. And so she got married to my grandpa. He was 7 years older than her. They were like selling shoes during the Depression. How cute. Anyway, so 7 years older. I mean, probably
Lucrative.
probably today my grandpa would get canceled, but back then
Who wouldn't? I feel like all the old men we love.
it's, if you ever listen to like anybody over like 90, even 80, you hear their stories. Like, I mean, I guess my grandma would be, shit, she'd be in her hundreds now, like 110 or something. But yeah, 112, because she's dead 20 years and she died in 92. So she goes, it's just crazy stories. Like, people tell you stories like, yeah, my husband, we met, I was only 14, and so I just lived in the back of the house. What? No, no, inappropriate. Like, but
And
it
it's so
was
like
different.
romantic. They're like, it was different back then,
And
honey.
they
And
stayed together the whole
I
time.
ride. Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
time. Like, this lady was telling me a story in The Butcher. She's 90, 91 or something like that. She's like, yeah, I lived right in the back house. And, but that people couldn't see us because I was so young. But, he was my husband. He was 26, and he just passed away 2 years ago, and I miss him. I'm like, no, no, that's Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm
Like,
syndrome. Yeah.
you were captured. I don't understand. But my grandma, back to her and my papa, they literally like stayed together. My grandma was like, my mom always says, like, she was mean to my dad, but my grandpa was a little bit of a drinker and a gambler and just a fun, all around fun, but would mess up a lot. And my grandma kept him in line. But they had 4 kids, and then they had 27 grandchildren. And when she passed away 20 years ago, she was at 45 great grandchildren. It has grown so much even more now, and we still all stay in contact. And
Oh
that was
my
her goal.
God.
So that
That's
was
amazing.
from that moment with her, them telling her that was her father, she made like a clear choice of like, I'm never having a family that doesn't know who the other people are. And even if someone got divorced and remarried and had children, my grandma treated them like we were all family. Like, come in here, you're accepted, you're welcomed. No, she just had that heart. She had that great heart.
I
So
love
cute.
I feel like that's so special, honestly. And I'm honestly jealous because you're gonna die, you're gonna like throw up. But I literally, my parents, both their parents couldn't have other kids. So my parents
Okay.
are only kids. So I don't have any first cousins.
Oh no.
It's
They're
so
only
weird.
oh yeah, that's odd. So
Super
you have to
weird.
do it. Make a bunch of them. No, I'm kidding.
I pop them out. I know, right? This whole Hollywood thing doesn't go. Maybe I'll just get pregnant. Maybe
Just
that
see
can be my
Kendall
thing.
barefoot and pregnant with her children.
Kind of down, bush out. Just I don't
Walking
know.
around Wonderland.
Walking around Wonderland, the woman who's gone. When I lived with my parents, I think I told you this briefly during COVID because my whole
Yeah.
life blew up because I fucked my roommate on ecstasy, which was a terrible idea.
Oh my
Italian guy.
God.
Yeah, this was like the stupidest time. Like Nicolas Cage fired me from the thing, and then I fucked my roommate on ecstasy. We
Well,
lit my
you opened a
life
portal.
up. I opened a portal. Yeah, I did open for some sort of a portal because I thought he was like, oh, he's so sweet. He's Italian. He doesn't want to be an actor. He just wants to plant a lemon tree on the roof. He's the only guy in LA. Well, it turned out he was also, committed like credit card
Mentally.
fraud and had multiple personalities. So I feel like I was like, yeah, really knew how to pick them. Um, yeah, fuck my roommate. My dad had to like come get me and was like, Kendall, I think that it's time to just come home for just a month or two. Well, COVID happened, and then anyway, I would wear my bathrobe around the neighborhood because I was like, I just like my mom was like, you're living at home. You have to walk the dogs. First thing, I have a dog, as you know, that we found on the streets of LA, a homeless dog, and then her dogs. So I started to have to walk like all the dogs at a specific time, even though I was like a 20 something woman. It was like this, it was, I call it my like stepbrothers era because it was bad. I was like, yeah.
Are you
Um,
an only child?
no, no, I have a little sister, but
Oh,
she
right, right,
had
right.
a
That's right.
apartment and life and job. I was like
Right, the
trying to
normal
be
sister, the
after,
normal one. Yeah,
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 the
yeah.
normal one. And I was like, you know what, fine, I'll do it. I can't argue with my mother, but I was like, I'm gonna wear my fucking bathrobe because I don't want to take the time to get out of bed and get dressed if I'm gonna have to be up by 8 a.m. So I would wear my bathrobe and these like tie-dye pants. And my parents live in a very like affluent, like Silicon Valley vibe neighborhood, Karen Central. Okay. And I would walk around
Oh,
and they were all so, I would see these Karens, just these women were so concerned about me. And then my friend Julia, one of my best friends from childhood, her parents live up the street from my parents. One day I walked by and I looked bad. I looked beat. I looked not look good. It was not a good place. And somebody drives by and takes a picture of me and I'm like,
no.
and then I get, yeah. And then I
Ah,
get, it was horrible. I get this like text from Julia, a screenshot of her family group chat. It's like, Julia, like, we were all at our neighborhood gathering. Like all the neighbors on next door would like gather and like
yeah.
talk like in their masks, like socially distanced about like their concerns about the neighborhood. And like we were at our neighborhood gathering last week, and everybody said they were very concerned about the woman who'd gone full COVID, who was walking her dogs in a bathrobe. And it was me, like the whole neighbor, they didn't know who I was. I was on like forums. They were like so
Oh,
worried. And so Julia and I were like, this is so fucking dumb. So my friend got me an Etsy. She made a robe on Etsy that said "Gone Full COVID" on the back, and I just started to like wear it around the neighborhood,
oh my
like fuck with
God.
to fuck with the Karen. But like honestly, that's the way I grew. Like that's like how I grew up. Which like that's I hate that shit. That's like it's like
But
totally
that's
different than your
everywhere
up.
too.
Totally, yeah. I bet there was stuff like that where you grew up where it was like if you
Oh,
were. Yeah, because tell me, so okay. So you
well, I'll
grew
say
up,
I grew up
yeah.
in South Philadelphia on this little street in right by the sports complex, like where the Eagles play and all that stuff. Now there is an area closer to the sports complex, and that's a little more, we call them money. My friend Dom Irera always says that's the suburbs of South Philly. Like, but it's mostly like people that own jewelry stores or like, some mobsters, whatever. But they always live in a place called Packer Park. Well, we live on the other side of the tunnel of Packer Park.
Okay.
Not as busy, more, just hardworking people, just, could barely make it. Some of them were doing okay, some weren't, but we had no business being there. Like we were, and
Right.
because my parents split up, my mom is a single mom, and there's 10 kids. So we were like rodents. Like the door in the morning was pushed open and we just flooded the
Released into
streets,
the,
right?
yeah.
And we all went in different directions. So I mean, if for a while, me and Billy were really tight and we would hang out. Like me and my brother Billy, we would hang out together. But then he got mad because every time he'd get in a fight, I'd finish it, because he wasn't good. And so I'd be like, "We gotta go, wrap it up." So I beat the shit out of some dude, and he's like, "You gotta stop finishing my fights." Like, so we kind of, and then I was just in the corner with my best friend Robert was this gay kid. He wanted to be a girl, and I wanted to be a boy. So we would just like run into each other and try to
Oh,
change genders. It didn't work, but we
Freaky
tried.
Friday.
Dude, we tried. Remember, it was like a cartoon we saw, and we were like, we could do it. We almost killed
Oh,
each other.
oh, I love that. That would be
She is
beautiful.
transitioning now. But
Oh,
if you met this person, this is why I get mad at people that like, like they don't accept somebody that's different, in any way, shape, or form, like different to what I don't even like to say the norm, because what is the norm anymore? It is so askew,
nobody's
like it's,
normal.
yeah, there's nobody's norm. So but in our neighborhood he was different, right? And all me, my little brother Bobby, and my sister Edie loved, when I say loved him, we were like yes, because he was bossy, you know. He went to public school, so he would talk all kinds of shit. uh
Yes.
I mean, we could all fight. We all knew how to, that was our thing. No, but everybody was afraid of me and Edie, so they,
Yeah.
they didn't bother anybody. But we had to literally like save his life a couple times,
Oh my
because
God.
people were gonna kill him because he would say like, "Oh, I think he's cute," and then that person would just lose it. Like him saying you're cute made you gay. Like what? Like they were
Oh,
so ignorant. It was crazy. So, they were going to beat him up, and then the Kerrigans would have to come and save this kid. But so we protected him for years. And then he learned how to fight, and he would get right in it. So, but I would spend so much time with him. He was my bestie. Um, but what happened, what I was trying to say was, let's just say something went missing in the neighborhood, they'd be like, it's probably the Kerrigans, no matter what. And we didn't, by the way, you can't steal something in the neighborhood and ride around the neighborhood, like if it was a bicycle or skates or a
yeah.
jacket, or I'm in
People
the
would
same
see.
neighborhood. I'm coming out of the
Yeah.
house. Like, you never saw us do it. You never saw us with the item, but it was always us that did it. Like, you could
Oh,
check the
that sucks.
yard. Our bikes were broken. Our bikes were, you know, we couldn't afford the part to fix something, so we might have had it when it was hand down from my older brothers and sisters. Those parts didn't exist anymore, you know what I mean? So it was always like,
Oh,
my mother's house looked like a garage sale with everything that was broken. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a mess. And people would get kicked out of their houses, and my mom would take them in, and I'm like, we don't have the room, we can't fit. What are you doing? Like, she used to answer phone calls from a neighborhood kid that went to jail, and his parents stopped answering the calls, so my mom would talk to him, and I'm like, don't accept phone calls from jail, they tap your phone. So for like 2 3 years our phone was tapped so I'd be on the phone with my boyfriend, and you're just hearing, and I'm like, you motherfuckers. They
oh
tapped
my
everyone's
God.
phone. They did it. There's no denying it. They did it to anybody that was in any jail anywhere. If you took
Oh
a, if you
my
got a
God.
collect call from prison, they tapped your phone. It's the government's sick.
The
That's
government is sick.
it's
Yeah.
always been, and it'll never be different. So stop trying to change it. They
Stop
have
trying to
their
trust
ways.
it. Don't trust
Don't
that shit.
trust it at
Don't trust that
all.
shit on any level. They fucking
No.
off people. Like, yeah, I'm right with you on that
I
one.
mean, all the way down to a police officer. Do not trust them. Like, if
I
you get
agree.
taken in for something, and there's a reason people say don't talk, no matter if you're innocent or what, they will turn it all against you. And the police will, because they have to have an arrest. They have to have so many of this, that, and the other thing, because they all work together. Because the jailhouses are, prisons and all are privatized. So
Yeah.
they have to have so many inmates to get money. It all trickles down. It's sick. It's all sick.
It's
And it's always been that way. Don't blame one person or another. I
it's
don't know
so
where it
true.
started, but it started a long time ago.
It's so true. Everything is so political. Like whether you like even the cops. Yeah, you can't trust anybody.
It's
Like
crazy.
seriously, but yourself. That's why it's like so important to listen to your instincts, I think, just because yeah,
Mhm.
not like people that presumably are in positions of authority often are the
Yeah.
most fucking corrupt ones. as we know, working in our business, which leads me to Hollywood. No, I feel like even like, I know you didn't get into comedy till later, but I feel like it certainly
No.
like do you feel like that? I remember you telling me this story about your mom. What was the story? I just with the sled and the
Oh
snow.
God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
it
like
just
infamous now, but because I've told it so many times, but it was such a big deal, like, because we didn't have money, you know. So it's like people will say, "Oh, did you go on vacation? Did you do this?" Like, we never went on vacation. That wasn't a thing. That wasn't, we didn't have any money. We barely survived day to day, and we
yeah.
could barely survive in that neighborhood. Now, my mom would remortgage the house a lot, like to keep money, whatever. It took her 53 years to pay her $7,500 house off
Oh my God.
because she remortgaged it so much. So she
Yeah.
probably spent, I don't, in the hundreds of thousands. But it was just because if she could remortgage and get a little bit more money, she could put it in her bank account and we could survive, on top of her salary she worked for the government and she worked odd jobs like the Phillies and like department stores and stuff. And so anyway, so she was home and it's at this point, I think my dad left. My dad wasn't for a while before he left, he was staying at work, right?
The
And it was a
typewriters.
big snowstorm. It was a crazy, like, it was the biggest we've had in years, and people could barely open their doors. So everybody was coming in slowly, but it was like people were stuck at places. And my dad said he was stuck at work, apparently. And my mom, the house is mayhem. We can't go out. So imagine that. So there's 10, and Edie was the baby. So Edie was probably 1.5, maybe 2. So you got a baby, and we're all like we're only 15 years apart from eldest to youngest. The baby's 2, that means the eldest is what's that? 19? Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not good at math.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
19.
Two,
Yeah.
yeah, or 17.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
15 years. Yeah, yeah. So 17,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
What
my
up?
brain
Yeah.
is dead. 17, you're right. So
Same.
yeah, because my dad left when my brother Tommy was about 18 or 19. So
Okay.
that's what
Yeah.
stuck in my head. And he's the oldest. So anyway, so the house is mayhem. People coming in covered in snow. We're not allowed out to play in the snow because it's too bad. And on the radio, they said that there was a Flyers game, the Philadelphia Flyers. If you could get to the Spectrum at the time, it was called. If you could get to the Spectrum, they would give you free hot dogs, free entrance, free hot dogs, and free hot chocolate. My mother was like, you know what? Wrap it up. So she wrapped us up. My older sister Karen was punished because she was staying out too late with her boyfriend, and my mom got mad. Her boyfriend's name was Rudy Valentino. Rudolph Valentine, hilarious. And so she was staying out with Rudy too late. So she got in trouble and she got punished. And so she had to stay home and babysit the little ones, Bobby and Edie. But me and Billy were old enough to get wrapped up. My mom put us on a sled and Johnny and Charlie walked because they were a little older. And my mom pulled us. I mean, literally, you could barely see cars. It was snow drifts. Like it was, and my brother Billy fell off, and I'm pulling the thing. I'm like, "Ah, Mom, Mom," and she's just trekking because she's angry. We're going to this game, and I finally got her attention. I go, Billy fell off back there, and Charlie had to go back and get Billy. It was like crazy. This dog, this thing popped up out of like a snowdrift, and then we realized it was a dog. We were like, it was our dog. She was out playing. We were wondering where she was. She was obsessed with snow. She would stay out. She was a neighborhood dog. She used to open the door herself and go out. Her name was Fluffy. People used to
Oh.
call me Fluffy's sister. That's how popular she was. I'm not kidding. And my mother was like, Fluffy, go home. I'm like, why can't she come? Like, I don't understand. She literally looked like a snow zombie. I've sent pictures of her covered in snow because she was a sheep and poodle mix. I don't know why she loved the snow. They're not
Oh
snow
my.
dogs.
No, no.
Like I will send you a picture, you'll pee your pants. Like she's always covered in snow, and it would knot in her hair because she would stay out so long. She just roll in it. I don't know why.
Wait, I have to see that photo. That's so
Yes.
fucking
My
funny.
fluffy, my lover, she's the best. And so
Is
we
she still
went.
alive?
No, no,
Oh,
she
okay. I
lived
was like,
18
that.
years though.
Oh,
18
wow.
years.
Happy dog. That's good.
And she was a street dog, technically. I mean, my aunt gave it to us, but my mom couldn't afford to feed us. So she would go.
Find food.
Sometimes my mom would be walking to work and another person would be walking Fluffy. She never even had a leash. She didn't have a leash. And the guy goes, "Don't worry, she doesn't bite." My mom goes, "Oh, okay." And she just walks away. Meanwhile, Fluffy was like, "Hey, hey, that's my mom."
It's me. It's me.
And my mom was so embarrassed. She was like a fucking dog.
That's so fucking
But
funny.
she got us to the spectrum and intact, and we went in. There was about 50 people, maybe 100, maybe, that we were all around the front, and they played. And I don't know if you know anything about hockey, especially Philadelphia hockey. They became the Broad Street Bullies, they were called, and they would beat the shit out of their opponents. And I mean, beat the shit. And so there was this one time, Bobby Clark, who played for the Philadelphia Flyers, he checked this guy against, and the guy's nose went like this, and blood like splurted out. Like it was it was bad back in the day. And there was blood all over the ice. Like it was, and my brother Billy just sat down like, and Bobby Clark saw Billy's face and he was like, "Sorry." And he just let him go. Like, because there's nobody to play, do a big show for. None of them had teeth. If you ever look them up, like the hockey players back in the day, when they would literally go out and fight, like they were known more for fighting than actual hockey.
Than playing that. One of
It's
my
so funny.
really good friends, her dad's plays for the NFL, and but it's like
Oh, wait,
it's
NFL
probably
or
a whole
NHL?
other. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I'm not good with sports.
No, it's
I'm like
okay.
Amy Schumer in that one movie where she's like the Orlando Blooms, and she's talking about that's me with sports. Besides,
Oh,
as you
okay.
know, pickleball.
But
I
wait,
love
you ever
pickleball.
hold on because I want to know who your friend is that played for the NHL. Because my mom was obsessed with hockey; that was her thing, and so she would turn our favorite TV shows off just to watch stupid hockey. So we had to watch it.
Yes, it's her dad, Jamie Baker. I
Oh,
believe he plays for the shark. He played for the Sharks, the San Jose
oh,
Sharks.
and okay, okay.
I think
Sharks.
I just know him as Riley's dad. I'm like, oh man, I
Riley's
should do my
dead.
homework.
I gotta look him up. So
Jamie
he's
Baker.
younger. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
Hilarious guy. Love him. But I don't know a whole lot about hockey, but from Canada and stuff. So like they know they're a whole hockey family, and I just know from her like it's a crazy sport. But then I imagine
Unbelievable.
you take the Philliness of it all. It's just
Well, yeah,
like
I don't know I forget what happened. Also, and then years later they beat the was it years later? I don't remember exactly when, but it was the Broad Street Bullies beat the Russians. It was a big thing. I think it was called the Miracle on Ice because it was also. And now this is where I get bad. Like the Cold War, like because we always had that thing with Russia, and so it was like it was kind of like a fuck you to Russia. They made a movie about it, and with Goldie Hawn's husband, Kurt Russell, plays the coach. That's great. It's a great movie. But they were good at hockey, but they would fight too. So their main thing was to fuck people up.
yeah.
That was so it was like beating up the Russians was like beating up, like winning a war. It literally was like a
It
war
was
on
the Cold
ice.
War.
Yeah, yeah,
It was Cold War 2.0.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
That's
they
fucking
extended it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you had a front row seat. I just had this
Well, no, I
video of
didn't
like
see
the
that.
little
I didn't go to that one. My older
okay,
brother
okay.
Johnny and Charlie went, but I didn't go.
Okay, but they were little when they saw or no?
They were
When
little. Yeah, they were.
okay, okay. Because I just had this like image of this little boy just like something being awakened in him, and he's like seeing this man.
And no, Billy was scared that day. Billy
Okay.
legit got scared because I mean,
I mean,
they're
yeah.
coming 100 miles an hour on those skates, and then they just check against the boards, and we never. I don't think we've ever been to, like, maybe now my brothers go to a hockey game. I don't. I never went to a sporting event unless I snuck into it,
Yeah.
and then I get kicked out. So I never saw the whole thing. And so until I was way into my adulthood, I never went to a real game. But I
Okay.
also don't like crowds. So that was the
I get
only
that.
time that we were ever like not only in the spectrum, but like that close. That
Wow.
close. I think I once went to a Sixers with my dad. He was fixing somebody's typewriter, but the game was starting again and we had to leave. Like I went just to help him and then we had to just drop off whatever. We didn't see the whole game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There is
So like, you
I
like you get to see it, but then you're like, all right, we gotta go. We're just the
yeah,
workers.
yeah. We're gonna
We're
work,
not allowed
right?
in here.
We're not.
No one likes
Well,
us.
I know what you mean about, because again, I'm not a big sports, like I don't know a ton about sports, but the one
Yeah.
time I got to go, I got like the one time I really got close in a game and got good seats, I got to go to the Cubs in Chicago, and I
Oh
was like sitting
wow.
dugout. My dad was like, "Oh my God, how did you get those seats?" Not knowing, like, I literally flew to Chicago with like a sugar daddy, for like my friend's sugar daddy. She was like, "You want to go to Chicago for free? It'll be so fun." And I was like, "Yeah, as long as he knows like I'm not into the whole sugar daddy thing." Well, didn't, but my dad was like, "That's amazing. That's so impressive." And not knowing, I was like, "Fully there," because I was like with the sugar daddy. Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
I didn't really mean to. I like adopted my friend's sugar daddy for the it was a very weird experience, but
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I was like, this is like amazing. Like you could, like, I actually might like sports if I had sat here more often, like,
Well,
these
yeah.
seats, like, and I could match with the players on Bumble. I was like, this is fun.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I
The
always I always wanted to be a baseball player. Like I really for a while wanted to be Mike Schmidt, who played for the Phillies in the early 80s, mid 80s, whatever. No, Mike Schmidt, early 80s, yeah. Maybe 70s. I don't remember. I just was obsessed. I was obsessed. And I wanted to be him and they're like, you can't. And I was like, whatever. And
as they do, as they
yeah,
like,
and then I remember I had like long hair. My mom used to let my hair grow, and she'd put it in ponytails and do all these weird things to it. And I'm like, all right. So it was giving me a headache in my football helmet. So I had my cousin. I cut it. We cut it off. And I was so happy. And then I had this little. I mean, no one. Every time my nieces and nephews see pictures of me from that time period, they go, "Hey, what uncle is this?" And they're like, "That's Uncle Eleanor." That's who that is. That's Uncle Eleanor was on the
I,
wrong team.
I I feel you though. Like I looked like a boy for a solid period of my life. I had really short hair. My mom
Intent,
cut it
you
all
did
off.
it or they did it?
No, my mom cut it all off.
Yeah,
Because I
same.
would
I
like
did it.
hide behind it in class. I would like chew on it. I was like a weird kid. I was like, they're like, we gotta
Oh,
cut the
I
hair
see
off. I was
that.
like, cut it. Yeah, I was like one of those. And I was in the musical. For some reason, my high school in Silicon
Hair?
Valley. Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I wish, right? But no, no, my Silicon
The
Valley high
age
school,
of Aquarius.
I would have rocked that. Like I
Oh
would have,
yeah.
I got the bush and everything. Yeah, braided like, but no, but it was like the fucking that my high school thought that they should do the whiz, not
No,
no, not
no.
on brand. No, not good, not good, not good. Um,
Did they have
I
any
had
black people in your high school?
two,
There we go. So they were in
two.
it?
Yep, and a whole lot of white people, whole lot of Asian people, whole lot of Indian people. I don't know
I
why they picked the.
mean,
Yeah, I don't know what was. I don't
well,
know.
I guess if like you think of it like that, like if they did any other play that was whether it's all white or all Asian
True.
or all whatever, you need those parts to whatever. But The Wiz has great songs in it, so I don't know. Those are
And
harder to
nobody had
sing.
the like range,
That's what I
the like
mean. Yeah, yeah. That's
the
where
sense
my
of
head went
rhythm.
initially, like the singing part of it, the performing part of it.
No, you have to have like an amazing vocal range. And so
Yeah,
it was for my no, it was for my middle school, and I got cast as the royal gatekeeper. And this is when
yeah.
I had the short, I had a pin curl. I had like a pin curl and a top hat. And I rocked that part. I really gave my heart to it. But my friend Madison's grandmother came up to me after and was like, "Oh, honey, I'm so happy to meet you. Maddie's told me all about you. You just are the cutest little couple," because she thought I was her boyfriend. She thought I was this guy Matt she was dating, and I was like, "Oh, no, I'm Kendall." Like it was like I really like I looked like a boy for a very long time, and then one
That's
day I was just
so
like, "Oh my
funny.
God, tits! This is great!"
But you
Like
didn't want to
I
look
didn't
like a
want
boy.
to. I kind of liked it. I kind of
I
liked it.
loved it. Yeah.
I liked it because I felt like I could be funny and I felt like I could be, which is fucked up, but I felt like you know how
A
now I
little
feel like
more free, a little freer.
yeah. Yeah, because I was like, I want to play the weird royal gatekeeper. Like, I don't want to get cast as the like, like I liked the parts I could play when I looked like
Yeah.
a boy. And it felt like I felt like my humor developed because I was so not attractive. Like I just boys didn't like me in middle school. Like it was like I had a rolly backpack. I was like the popular kids would like pay me to get rides on my rolly backpack, but I rocked it.
Wait,
Like I
wait.
fucking loved it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Rolly backpack? What's that? And people were getting rides
Yeah,
on it?
I would have been murdered in your neighborhood. Like have you seen Pen 15, the show?
No. What's
Oh,
that?
Eleanor, you have to. It's so funny. It's these two girls. They play themselves in middle school, but they're 30-year-old women. And they play and everybody else in the show is actually 13. And they're like the most awkward girls in middle school. Oh, it's so fucking funny.
Where
It's,
is this? Where's this on?
I don't know. I think you can
There's
watch
too
it on
many
Netflix.
goddamn channels.
No, you have this one is you would find this like I think it's the sense of art. I feel like we have similar senses of humor. I think that you would think this was so
Yeah.
funny. You would laugh.
Pen
But
15.
yeah, like penis, but because my generation was like everybody was really mature and they would write like the pen 15, but it was like penis. But that was me and the character Maya, one of the main characters, that was literally me in middle school. Short haircut, rolly backpack, just like I from LL Bean, super dorky, Hawaiian print with my name on it. But like I just like one time, oh my God, one time there was this kid I had a big crush on in middle school. And I remember trying to talk to him at the top of the stairs and like be really cool. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I lost control of my rolly backpack, Eleanor,
No.
and it
Mm-mm.
rolled down the entire staircase, the science building. It was like staircase, and it ended up wiping out this kid's best friend. Like the backpack as he was
How
coming
big
to.
was it? Was it like a suitcase?
Yeah, it was like girthy.
I don't even
Um,
think I had a school bag. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember a school bag.
he just put it
I
up your
really don't.
hoo-ha. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we used to carry them in
Yeah.
our hands. Not with like a string around it. I'm not that old, but like,
No.
you remember the string? I mean, I guess we had one. I either didn't like it or something, but in high school, when we got to leave our books at school, you could do your homework in like study hall or something like that.
Yeah.
And plus, I just wouldn't do it. And then,
Yeah.
um,
Always a good option.
yeah, I don't remember. I remember having a handbag like across my chest because they would cut them. They used to when we started putting them across our chest. Instead of them pulling them off, they started coming around with scissors and just cutting them and taking them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you were on the
No.
subway or something, they would just cut your bag while you're standing there, whatever. If you're
Um,
if you're like, and your bag's like across your thing, they cut it and take the and I was like, please pull scissors out. Please pull scissors on me. Please. I was trying to go to college. So
okay,
I
yes.
was taking courses at Temple University in
Okay.
Philadelphia, in North Philly. And so
Yes.
I take the subway up, and I was like, I'm gonna be serious about this. I want to be an
Heck yeah.
actress. And I was, I was getting on the subway and going up, and I was paying for it out of my own pocket. So I was
Yeah.
trying to get as many courses, and then I could be enrolled the next semester or whatever it was. So I was in the beginning, my accent was so thick. I literally showed up, and I remember my teacher's name. Her name was Cynthia Blaze, and she was an extra in something. So we thought she was like, what? What?
Oh my, I know. We all know.
Yeah.
It's like my film
My
school
God.
professor. Like I thought he was so cool because he wrote the jingle for like Canine Advantix.
But hey, that's a little more lucrative than an extra. I gotta be honest. But
But he was power tripping. But yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
of course. Do you know
Oh,
who
they
I
all
am?
are.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay,
okay. Yes,
buddy.
we've seen the commercial.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so Cynthia was very sweet. But I would show up in a fila suit. I was an animal. And I mean, I'm a hood rat, right? I'm like I'm all, and I try to do Shakespeare. Yeah, she had me playing one of the witches, and then my accent would be like so hard, and she was like, "Listen to me, I don't. Your accent is so thick. You have to take American Standard English because I can't understand you." I'm like, wait, wait. So you can understand Shakespeare, but you can't understand me? Like it got to that level. This is I have video of me in a commercial class where the lady left me alone with the camera, and I didn't know it was on. And she made me practice how many peanuts make up one jar of Skippy peanut butter, right? Now I can say it now because my brothers made fun of it so hard and played it for anybody that came in to the house. It was on a VHS tape. They played it for anybody that would fucking listen. They were crying, laughing. Because at one point, I can't get it to come out right. So I have a meltdown and I start hitting myself. It's big. How embarrassing. And I'm like, and so, but my accent was so thick. I'm like, how many peanuts make on one jar of Skippy peanut butter? Like I couldn't get my mouth to frame properly. Whatever. So now we're at Temple, we're doing classes. Now I'm in American Standard English and I'm trying to practice. And I'm like, you know, saying things, but I'm also a lifeguard at a public pool in South Philly. So I'm practicing while I'm walking around in my head, watching the kids. Somebody got out of hand. I blew the whistle and I go, that's it, get out of the water. And I said water instead of water. And the whole fucking pool looked at me like I was having a stroke. So I was like, no, I'm just practicing. Get out of the water. Like I had to go right back. Wait, I lost you again. I can't hear you.
Oh no, I muted
Oh,
myself
I
so
got
I
nervous.
wasn't laughing over you. No, no, no.
No, I love it. I
Uh,
love it.
so
Okay,
they
but I'm
so they
like, no, did I
understood.
mess
Yeah.
it up again?
No, no, no. You got it. We got it. We got it. Okay, so
Anyway,
you got yeah.
so I'm practicing whatever. So now I'm like so into this, and I'm getting better with like talking to people from different backgrounds than I am. Like they're getting off the subway in Center City because they either have apartments or they live on campus at Temple. So I can't even afford to walk around Center City, so I'm going all the way down. So I'm on the subway with them and I'm talking, and we just came out of acting class and it was a little bit late because she had us watch something. It was like nice. It was cool. So I'm talking to them and I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying, but I'm, just me. I can't help it. And I'm being good. And we're sitting there talking. This guy comes over a little disheveled and he pulls out a gun and he's like, give me all your money. And they were like, oh my God, oh my God. And everybody's freaking out. And I turned and it was a revolver. Like it was the revolver. And it was, you could see that it was broken and it wasn't even, there was no bullets in it. You could see it. Like that's what a revolver. So I go, no, they're not giving the money. I go, gotta give them the money. I go, no, we're not giving him the money. It's not even, that's a broken gun. He goes, it works. And I go, it doesn't work. Get out of here. And I chase him out of here. And they were like, are you crazy? Like they were kind of mad at me for getting in this guy's face and putting him in his place and saying, get out of here. Because I don't have any money. I don't know if they have money, but I know what I have. And he ain't taking what I have. These are my good sneakers. They don't have holes in them. Like you're not taking anything. I was like so mad. And then they got mad at me. And then they got off the train in Center City and they're like, you gotta just, so you can't talk to people like that. And I'm like, I just get out, whatever, fuck you. And then I quit because I was so
Oh.
angry. But it was so funny when he was just coming at me. Another guy came at me with a frying pan one time, and I was like, go ahead, you're not gonna, no damage is gonna happen. This might be harder than that. And then he laughed, and then I go, yeah, I don't have any money. I'm the
They're like,
wrong
joke's on
person.
you, dude. Like, yeah.
If I could buy that frying pan from you, I would.
Yeah.
But I don't have any gas at home to
They're
cook
like, can
it.
you give me the frying pan? Honestly, I could like use it. No,
Yeah.
that I feel like though, like that's just I love that story. It made me laugh, but also like I feel like it's kind of sucks that they were like trying to make you practice how to say it. I don't know, right? Like I
What?
like
Oh yeah. I will
hippie
say
thing.
they told
I
me I had to get rid of my accent, and it's weird because now people are like, "Oh, can you do an accent?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't I have one?" But also doing stand up, I think, and hanging in Philly a lot more, like being back in Philly more than I've been in LA lately. My accent does sneak in. And even when I was younger and I used to go home and I'd hang with my mom, I remember I took her to a doctor's appointment one time and I ran into somebody I went to school with. And within seconds, it was like my mom goes, look who reverted back to type.
No, it's so real. That shit happens. Like one of my best friends is Irish. Like I
Mhm.
like her parents are Irish. And she was such a she taught like hella stoner, like totally like NorCal when we were in high school. And then she goes to Ireland and it's like literally a
Oh,
different person. She's
yeah,
like, God, look at that feller over there. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you grew up in Santa Cruz. What are you doing? But it's like, I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, it does. That's a real thing that happens. So people just kind of
yeah.
like, just sort of, yeah.
My
My
mom's
parents are
best
from
friend had
Chicago.
that.
Yeah.
The Ireland one.
Yeah.
Her parents had the brogue, and so she would, when she was in the streets with my mom, she would talk trash. But then when she was home with her mother, she'd be like, who are you?
It's like a Hannah Montana. It's like a double life. I'm like, what are you doing? The worst is like I know a couple American girls who have like moved to London and like found themselves like a British boy, and like I've gotten lunch with them, like girls from my college who grew up in like Ohio, and then like
Yeah.
they have a full on accent now,
No, they
like this.
Madonna'd it.
Yes, and it's like, what are you doing? You know, like they don't even talk. It's a complete different person. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
I
get it
am
though.
I am a chameleon though. Like I will, like if I'm hanging with somebody that has a very strong accent, I will start talking. If I'm hanging with somebody that has an impediment, like does like weird stuff with it, I will start doing it. Like it's bad. It's bad. And I'm like, you cannot fucking do that. Like that's disrespectful. Every time, and so I fight with myself. But there was a guy I used to work with, and he would do in between everything he said. So he'd be like, yeah, we got to get that section all cleaned up. And I would do it with him.
Oh
And I'd be
no.
like, yes, we gotta. And I was like, what are you doing?
Oh no.
Like,
Oh
it's a
no.
mirroring. I don't know what it's weird. So if somebody has something, I have to like look away. I can't like fully take them in. Yeah, and I'll just like, yeah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'll try to just get out of it because I will. And people are like, are you mocking me? I'm like, no, not at all. I love you. I'm just, this is what's happening in this sick brain. I don't know why it does that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
like if someone had you would, yeah, just stay away from anyone with like Tourette's, I feel like, or just,
Oh,
yeah,
my
just
little
like
sister was dating a guy and I was doing it with him.
winking at him.
I was doing it like this.
Oh no.
My old roommate, he used to study. This is so crazy. He went to college in Virginia, and the dorm he lived in or whatever, it had like a slanted roof, and so Chris was always up late doing homework, and he would do his homework like this. See his neck like bent like that. So he developed a fucking tick from that. So and I lived with Chris for 12 years, so I used to do this.
Oh my god.
I
Oh
didn't
my
get
god.
this. I didn't get this one. Chris, I love my old roommate. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. He would go like this, and my sister Karen was visiting, and she goes, what is that one? What's that do? What are you doing there?" And he goes, "I'm just making sure all the hair is going in the right direction." My sister, my sister was like, "You two are meant for each other. Two fucking weirdos just living together. Just be weird together. You guys will twitch together."
Got a whole choreographed routine here. Like,
Yeah, I had a friend growing up. She would do this. If I was with her long enough, I would do it. She still does it. I saw her when I was home. She goes like this. It's I don't know what
well,
it's from, but from birth. But she'll talk to you and she'll be like, "Yeah," and her head just go.
well,
It's
if I used to like, I kind of had low key had Tourette's, but it wasn't Tourette's. It's like, it was a very weird, yeah, it was a weird, I got like diagnosed. It was, I
It's
like got
anger issues.
infected with Tourette. No, it was like, and that's like why it was so even more comical that I like had to be in like the whiz because you had to have like really good rhythm. And I was always like kind of one beat behind. Like, and I because I got really bad strep throat in fifth grade, and then I got like this infection in my brain, and it was nobody knew what was wrong with me. Like my mom was like, I thought I was gonna die. It was horrible. It was like this like terrible thing.
Oh,
I had to go to
Jesus.
all these doctors. It was called Sydenham's chorea, and it's caused by strep, but it does infect your brain, and it makes you
Oh,
have Tourette-like
shit.
symptoms. And I would say shit. I asked the teacher what a dick was in like fourth grade. I was just like, I didn't know the term. I was like, what's a dick? Like, I would just say things
Yeah.
and I would get sent to the office all the time, but nobody knew what was wrong with me. And then I found out I had to take like amoxicillin to get rid of it. But the ADHD was always, they
Oh.
were like, oh, the ADHD is like, they're still there. I'm like, it's
Oh, that lives there.
always
That's
been
not
there.
leaving there.
That's like, yeah. Um, yeah,
That's
but I
there
had
rent
like,
free.
I'm like, that's been there since we popped out. But yeah, yeah, it was like a whole thing. It was a whole thing. So I like couldn't control my movements. I made like really weird facial expressions and like would do weird shit but I feel like it made me that's so I think it also stunted my growth and it made me look like a boy for a little bit. So I
Hmm.
was kind of like, it kind of helped gave me my humor though. I was like, well, everyone's laughing at me, so I might as well like laugh with them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
How dare they?
Uh,
They're gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna laugh.
I'll make them laugh. Yeah.
Come shine with me, align with me, authentically true. Bloom into you.
Okay, hello everybody. And I just want to take a quick break from my convo with Eleanor. I know you're probably like, Kendall, why the fuck are you in a Cinderella dress? And I would, you're right to ask that. I'm going to like a ball right now. Actually like no, like a Halloween party. And the theme was like leather and lace, so I don't really know if it's like lace, but I went on the Disney cruise with like my Disney adult friend for her birthday this year, and we almost got kicked off the Disney cruise because everybody thought we were like the real princesses, and we got like way too drunk, and then we ended up meeting this like country rapper and being like his backup dancers at Disney karaoke, and like all the kids and adults thought we were like the real princesses. I've also realized my brand as an artist is like deranged Disney princess meets liberated woman because I am like a comedy writer and an actor and a comedian and I'm like a psychic. So I feel like it just kind of encompasses like all of me because like there's just like a lot going on with like, like all the characters in my head and all like the spirits in my energy field. I am here in the Cinderella dress because if you are wanting to unleash your bold creative genius, like if you are listening to this podcast and you're just like loving Eleanor and my banter and you're like, damn, I just like want to release like my inner artist. Like I want to like express my creativity and just be like fully seen and celebrated for like who I authentically am. Maybe you've been like wanting to get into comedy. Maybe you've been wanting to like do that thing like that your soul has been telling you to do, your heart has been telling you to do, but you're like embarrassed or afraid. Maybe you just feel like you were always made fun of something. Like there's like an aspect of you that you were always made fun of for like as a kid, you know? Like for me, it was like everything. Like I feel like it's like a lot of what me and Eleanor were talking about, like this really gels with that. Like, you know, like sometimes like when Eleanor was talking about how she has to like, had to like change the way she talked, but then like that's actually the thing that everyone fucking loves about her when she does comedy. Or like for me, like I'll never forget, I got cast as Thing 2, like, you know, the blue-haired person in like Seussical the Musical in 6th grade, and I was like so excited because it was like actually a really big part for like a middle schooler. And this was like when I looked like a boy. And except for the problem was like it required like Thing 1 and Thing 2 had to have so much rhythm and be able to like snap on beat. And I had a neurological disorder in 5th grade that basically like made me have like low-key Tourette's. I think I was talking about in this episode, or it's the next episode. And it basically made me like so bad with rhythm. Like even though I write music, I'm a songwriter now with my boyfriend. He's like really good at keeping it on the beat. And let me tell you, like I am so fucking awkward at clapping on the beat. It is like white girl shit times like you're low key like actually also have Tourette's. Like it's really rough, honestly. And so like I remember feeling so insecure because they wanted Thing 1 and Thing 2 to do a lot of snapping on the beat and clapping on the beat, and that was just like not our jam. And so the director like completely changed the part for my cast because neither me nor Thing 1 could snap on the beat, and made our parts like very like like mime improv related, you know? And we were both so fucking good at improv and comedy that we ended up stealing the show. But we didn't have to snap. We were just fucking weird little mimes that ran around the stage. And afterwards, everyone was like, oh my God, you guys are hilarious. I love you guys. And that story came to me recently because sometimes I think the things that we're most insecure about are actually our superpower. You know, like I always felt like I didn't fit in any box because I'm like way too sensitive to like work in the fucking entertainment industry. And I'm also a fucking psychic, but I'm also like, you know, wait, like I like want to heal the world like one bush stroke at a time. So I don't really fit into like the healing world. I'm not like a virginal angel, like being like, you know, like, oh, like I just like didn't know where I belonged. And I feel like I say like I'm Drew Barrymore and Larry David's like love child, you know, like I'm just like, like I feel like people are like, I'm confused. There's like two people in this going on in this person. But I feel like leaning into those things that have made me insecure actually have helped me like manifest and align to like more amazing and exciting opportunities in Hollywood. I am leading a virtual retreat on Monday, November 11th from 9 to 11 PST. And yes, there will be a replay available, but basically if you've never done a virtual retreat before, what this is going to be is like a 2-hour container. And we are going to explore, we're going to be using something called human design, which is kind of like astrology that reveals like your unique magnetism as an artist, creator, and human. And we're going to unlock the frequencies and things within you that make your artistry and your presence irresistible. And then there's also going to be an opportunity to share your creative expression in a loving group space where others can reflect your brilliance and magic back to you. Because I will say one of the things that has really helped me get out of my own way with stand-up is having these really supportive, female friendly, like queer friendly spaces. Like Bobby Oliver is amazing, Tao Comedy in LA, but like being able to go somewhere where I feel genuinely supportive as I'm stepping into my voice as an artist and a comedian, like that has helped me so, so, so much. I just wanted to create a space that like combined my healing world, my healing gifts, my like meditation, Reiki, like journal prompts to like shift your subconscious mind and beliefs about yourself with my like creative expression and artistic genius into something like a space where I could bring both parts of myself forward and help other sensitive souls and artists who are like really wanting to express themselves but feel blocked maybe around like fully sharing their voice or who they are. Like we're also going to be doing some really powerful inner child healing using a modality called IFS, which is based off this psychologist named Richard Schwartz developed something called internal family systems. And it's basically this idea that like we're kind of broken into like all these parts, kind of like the movie Inside Out with all the little people running around inside of us. Only instead of like emotions, which is a thing too, we have like parts that are like different ages, and often like they hold specific beliefs that are blocking us from like fully expressing ourselves. And it's a really, really powerful healing modality that I've trained in. And so I want to help you heal your inner child and love your inner child and love the parts of your inner child that were so insecure so that you can step into your radiant and bold creative self. And so if you're interested, I have linked that below. It's only $44.44. It's going to be so powerful. And if you're wanting to learn more or go deeper before you sign up, I have a deeper explanation on my healing YouTube channel that I have linked below. But yeah, I would really love to see you at my Bold Creative Genius Retreat on 11/11 if this is resonating with you. So I invite you to go check that out. And now we're going to get back to the episode with Eleanor. Oh, what's that? Oh, my prince is outside in his carriage. I mean, Tesla. I'm going to get going to the ball. But I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Come shine with me, align with me, authentically true. Bloom into you.
I feel like though those experiences like shape the comedy, would you say?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, like, most of my comedy is making fun of my upbringing and like what I would go through with my brothers. Like, I did have to share a room with my brothers, and there was 7 of us in one room. I found this out when I was, because I go home a lot with my mom, helping her, and then my dad started to need help, so my older sister helps him. So we kind of try to help each other. It's amazing. No one wants to help my dad, but I get it. He left like, hey, dude, your choice. No, but my older sister, our guilt kicks in. So I was hanging with my sister, and I brought my little brother Bobby and my dad. We went to see my dad. My sister told me a story that I never knew. My parents, my dad started like sleeping on the couch, right? And I remember that. I just assumed he came in late, and cigarettes. He was always had. We would find cigarettes and change, and we would steal the change and smoke the cigarettes. I mean, I was smoking at 9, like I was a mess. But my older brothers were smoking, so we would steal. He left when I was 8, 7 or 8, so I didn't really get to smoke them. I started after he left. It was a rebellion. And so but like I remember him sleeping on the couch, but what I didn't know was in the room my parents were in was a little bit bigger. So my mom and him were fighting over, like, we're gonna have to move the boys back. They can't fit in that back room. It's 6 boys. So my mom and dad went out to dinner or something, and my older sister Karen moved the furniture. She moved. She's got like I know I'm not supposed to say it, like handicap strength. You ever hang with a retarded person? I'm gonna say it that way because it is referred to as retarded strength. Like they could just pick up anything. It's just my sister has that. And
It's
so she was
superhuman.
literally dragging bunk beds. She did it by herself, by the way. No one helped her. She moved all the beds out into the front room and moved my parents into the back room. And my dad was furious.
That's
furious that they did it.
so funny.
And then he left. I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you just telling me that it's your fault?
The dad left?
Because she's 10 years older than me. She's 10 years older than me. She's at the top, you know? So it's just like, oh no, that's my sister-in-law. All right, she's fine. And so she's 10 years older, so she, you know, whatever. So she made this decision. And then the boys, we had a triple bunk bed, a double bunk bed, and a single bed. And then there was a mattress that pulled out underneath the triple bunk, and that's where I slept. Because my sisters kicked me out of the room. And my mom goes, I was talking to my mom, and she goes, why did you she goes, didn't you used to sleep in the middle room? And I go, yeah, with Karen and Kathleen, but they kicked me out. And she goes, oh, because you were ratting on them? And I go, no, I didn't rat. I go, I'm not a rat. I'm not a monster. I go, but I did wet the bed. And she goes, oh, you didn't tell. You just leaked.
Your mom should have done
I go, oh my God, Mom. Yes, I did. So you kicked me out. But my sisters they were like, get out, you know. They didn't want, and I was a bedwetter. So they put me on the floor in the other room. So most of my material comes from sharing that fucking room with those boys. I mean, it was brutal. It was not fun, but fun. 6 boys, 4 girls. Yeah. Another reason my dad would sleep downstairs, which I didn't know till obviously later. He said every time I sleep up there, she gets pregnant. And I'm like, okay, but you're part of that. Like, you're saying it like she's saying it like she sends her eggs out and they just jack you up and then they jump back in her and you're like, wait, I was sleeping. Like, fuck. So when she was pregnant with my baby sister Edie, he was like, we should give her away. We can't afford her.
Ooh.
I know. I always remind Edie.
Oh no. It's okay. I mean, you know, I wasn't planned. So, you know, I was a little too much Kendall Jackson in the wine country.
There you go.
Like, that's why I'm called Kendall. Seriously. But
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I found that out on my 21st birthday. I'm like, that's
I don't ever want to hear the story again.
I never want to ever know that. And it also explains so much. Like, yeah, no, my sister was like an iCal invite in my mom's like Google Calendar. And I was like, too much Kendall Jackson and forgot to take my birth control. Funny. You grew up with I love your family. The stories that you tell about them are so, like, your mom, I feel like should have done comedy. She sounds hilarious. So
oh my God. She was so funny.
I know. What did she say? Are you like when she was asking about your dad? What was she saying about your dad?
Is he still alive? And I go, is your dad? Because her memory gets a little foggy lately, so she just gets confused. She goes, is he still alive? And I go, yeah. The mean ones stay alive long. Yeah. Those evil ones, they stick around, don't they? I'm like, Mom, you're still here. Like, it's so funny.
I know.
She's the best.
I love it. And she's 87 now.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so then you decided to go to LA, right? For like acting. Like, that's kind of what brought you to LA, right?
Yeah. And my mom always wanted to be an actress. And my grandmom told her, oh, you have to be beautiful to be an actress. And that is so mean.
Let's take a moment of just like a moment of silence for your mom.
And you know, I'll watch old movies and I'm like, I'll watch old movies with her and I'm like, way more pretty than these girls. Like, what? Like, what are you doing? And my mom had like a classical look, like a cool look. So she could have done it. And but she's too shy. She's too naive, shy, everything. Like, they would have torn her apart here, you know, like even my dad, like he got tattoos, right? And then when he came home, she was like, no, that's awful. He goes, oh, don't worry, they wash off. She goes, oh, thank God.
They didn't wash off.
Oh, She goes, they're not coming
Oh.
off. You know, she believed him
She's
for
scrubbing them.
years.
Oh no. Oh, your mom. I know. They
I'm like,
probably would have.
I
They
don't.
would have been feeding her to the wolves out here in
Oh,
LA.
absolutely, absolutely. Did I
Like,
run?
what's worse? Like, what do you think was worse? Like growing up, like, taking the homeless man's gun, or like this the industry. Like, when you came out here, did you know much about LA or what?
No, not
Yeah.
no. And when my mom was like, "You can't go out there. That's all cults." You know, it's so weird. But if you never go somewhere, and all my life it was like, you can't travel. You can't afford that. Are you? Because it was just unfathomable to her. Every nickel was stretched beyond stretched. So I grew up thinking, oh, those things aren't affordable. Like, even if I had money in the bank, because I always worked. I've been working since the fourth grade. So, like, I always had jobs. Even when I lifeguarded, I was making good money in the summer. And like, people would come to me and be like, hey, can I borrow some money? And I'm like, am I a loan shark? Like, what's happening right now? You know what I mean? One kid got his girlfriend pregnant. I had to pay for the abortion. No one ever gave the money back. I was like, yeah, let's get that done. I didn't even ask questions. Like, something's wrong with me. I will give all the money away. You know, like, I'm not good with money, but I always had money. And then you go, oh, like, it's say Europe, right? I'm like, you can't go there. It's billions of dollars. Like, I was raised like, that's, even if you wanted to go see your family in Ireland, like, we still have family in Ireland on my dad's side. My mom's side, like I said, my grandmom doesn't know anybody, but my dad's side, a lot, you know? And even if you wanted to go explore that, it's like, you can't. You have to be a billionaire. Like, I'm like, oh. And then you look it up and you're like, what? It's like the same as going to New York. I don't
I know.
understand.
You're like, have you heard of
Yeah.
kayak.com? Like, you can fly to Europe for
I mean,
$100
even
on
now it's crazier,
Spirit.
but I'm saying even back then, like in the 90s, it was, I was like, oh my God, it's totally feasible. Like, I don't
Totally.
understand.
Yeah.
But I also didn't have 10 children but they put it in their
Right.
heads that it was
Oh my
impossible and that
God.
was it.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine taking 10 kids to Disneyland even? Just like be like, even
Never
if they
been
got a
to
loan.
anything I
Yeah.
did like that, I did on my own in my 30s. Like, I did not,
Totally.
even in my
Totally.
20s, I was like, nah, I can't afford that. That's crazy. Like, it was still mentally embedded in me that everything was so expensive. It was impossible. So, anyway, so coming here, my mom was like, it's all cults. It's all cults out there. They're going to get you. Don't fall for it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to fall for the cult, you know, because I do, like when people go to college, kids go to college, all of a sudden they start, all of a sudden they start feeling like they learn more, they read better books, right? So then they start protesting and they're like, did you know? Because they're not on the same academic, whatever. It's more, we're teaching you this in grade school and then you go to college and you can learn anything, so their brains
Yeah.
explode, whereas I was
Yes.
already in the streets, so my brain exploded a
Yeah.
long time ago. I was
Yeah.
like, I remember on my 21st birthday I stayed in and people were like, oh, what did you do on your 21st birthday? And I'm like, nothing. I think we went to dinner, me and my mom. I had been going clubbing since I was 14. I had been
Totally.
retired already. I was like, I'm done.
Totally.
Fuck that place. I already slept with everybody in there. Like, I don't.
Yeah. No, I agree. You like get it out of your system young and then
Right.
you're just
Whereas I
like, I'm
think,
fucking tired. I feel like I
but
lived such a
most
full.
most people are kept to this, and then they go to college and they go fucking crazy. That's
Yes,
why
I
there's
did
they
go. Yeah.
parties. Yeah, they look for everything. Whereas I was like,
You've
bitch,
been.
I've been on a helicopter to Atlantic City. I don't know where you're doing. Like, y'all need to wake up. And so I grew up in a different
Totally,
so whatever. So when
totally.
I went to LA, I remember like, oh, it was just after the riots. So they were like, you have to be strapped, you have to have this, you have to do that. So I always had weapons on me, right? And I got it took me a long time, but I got a job at the Comedy Store. And on Monday nights at the Comedy Store, we had Eddie Griffin basically took over the whole club, who was a dear personal friend of mine. Like, I love Eddie Griffin, but the clientele was a little ghetto-y, you know? And they were a little crazy, and they used to call me Susie Chapstick, and and I'm like, I don't care, dude. I grew up, I know how to fight. I'm not afraid of you. Like, you're not intimidating me. You know what I mean? Like, but my other friend who was born and raised in California, she would get a little more, she was a little upset, like a little nervous. So I was like, I became like the protector of the Comedy Store. Like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, and one time there was a shooting right out front of the club.
Oh,
And
wow.
I believe they always say it was Tupac, but Tupac had left. But his people were fighting with one another, and they wound up going outside, and they were doing like a Western shooting. Like, we have bullet holes in the front of the club, and they were just shooting at each other from like in the middle of the street. So, of course, all the waitresses, everybody goes in the office and they lock it. And that night, Mitzi was there. She happened to be there. So Mitzi's in the office, and all the waitresses, I'm making sure I'm counting the waitresses. I'm like, all right, Helen's here, this one's here, those are. And there was one girl. Oh, no, there was one girl missing. I went out, I got her. She was upstairs. She didn't realize what was happening. I got her, I put her in the office. I go, all the money stays in the office. So Mitzi looked at me. She goes, can you go out there and get me a Cavassier? And I go, they're shooting. She goes, you have weapons. I was like, you fucking bitch. You fucking.
Were you her assistant at that
What are
point?
you? No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I
Because
was
I was
brand
like,
new.
that's the epitome of
No,
like the
I was
Hollywood
brand new.
assistant. Like there's a shooting going out front, and your boss is like, "Can you just go?" Just like.
And I was like, why do I have to go out there to get a Cavassier, bitch? Like, what the fuck? I remember being so upset with her. Like, are you being serious right now? I'm not going out there. Like, you're crazy. So it was so fucking funny. But she was like that. She felt like, because for years, like, if something happened, I would always just something crazy. Like, we hired this waitress. They hired the waitress. Mitzi saw her and didn't like her look, and then she said, "Get rid of her." She didn't like how she was. Because Mitzi was very particular. Like, she needed waitresses, but you needed to be unseen. Does that make sense? Like, you gotta fucking squat down, put your drinks out. You can't be standing up being like, hey, man, this isn't a fucking country club. There's a show going on. You know what I mean? Like, so there's no time to socialize. You do that in the beginning before the show. When the show's going on, you disappear, bitch, and just put your drinks down. So this girl was like flopping her hair, and I remember she had all this curly hair, and she was beautiful. And I want to say she was Mexican, but I'm not sure. But she was gorgeous, like that, la Latina, like that, perfect. And I was like, fuck. And she was funny. We only worked together one night, but we were like, well, actually, we trained her and then we put her on the floor. So it was a couple nights, but this night specifically, we were working side by side, and so we were laughing and goofing, and mostly in the back, not near Mitzi or near the show, but she would go out there and flip her hair. And then Mitzi said, got to get rid of her to the manager. And the manager was like, well, can we finish the shift? Like, and she's like, no, get rid of her. And I was like, so now I had to take over her whole section. So I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so the manager is in the office explaining to the girl, like, look, the owner says you're not the right fit. And the girl got so angry. So she went to the hotel next door. I believe it's called the Andaz now, but it was the Hyatt back then. And she waited for Mitzi to pull out. And then she jumped on her car and started punching the window.
Oh.
It was so
My
crazy.
God.
I happened to be outside smoking a cigarette. I was at the front. I didn't know Mitzi was leaving. I was hiding out front in case she came in the back. And Mitzi was pulling out. And I see this fucking girl on Mitzi's car. And I just pick her up and pull her off. And then Mitzi drove out. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? She goes, I'll fucking kill her. I thought she laughed. You didn't
It
get to
was
say
worse
goodbye.
than it. Like it sounds worse than the shootout. Like it was like
But here's the thing. Mitzi's like, oh, Eleanor will take care of it. I'm like, no, I'm not a bouncer. We need a bouncer. We have to have, I don't want to be the bouncer. Like it just, everybody was like, there's no way Eleanor's going to get in a cult. She might start her own gang, but she's not getting a cult. She's going to be the leader of that cult. And then my mom goes,
I'm
I would tell her,
dead.
I would tell my mom stories because all my friends at the beginning, like when I first moved here, were all black. And, I mean, I had same thing in high school, same thing, whatever. So she goes, do they have white people out there? And I was like, yes, mom. She goes, because I don't know why you're not
Plenty
meeting
of them.
Tom Hanks. Why are you hanging with the Wayans brothers when you could be with Tom Hanks? And I'm like, by the way, right now the Wayans brothers are on top of their game
Totally.
because it was during like In Living Color and like Damon
Oh,
Wayans got
cool.
me my SAG card. Damon and Eddie got me my SAG card.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, they put me in Bulletproof and Eddie put me in. I forgot the name of his movie, but I almost got in a fist fight on there too. It was bad.
Wait, so and also, okay, so what was the timing of you? Because you were a waitress and then you became Mitzi's like assistant, and then you also started doing a pro wrestling show. But like, what
Well,
was the timing of all that?
so
Or
it
like,
was like the first couple years, like I was just waiting tables, whatever, and just making friends and figuring out how to get an agent and do all that stuff. And then I started dating an agent. Then I got engaged to an agent, but he was a booking agent for comics, so it was different. And then that blew up. He broke my heart in a million pieces. And just, I mean, unfortunately, he got hooked on some drugs and stuff. And I can't tolerate that. And I tried. We worked it out as much as we could. And then, luckily he's doing great and he has a family and everything. So I'm glad for that because he wasn't a bad person or just something get a hold of you and that's it. And so whatever. So then we break up, but I was like so foggy. I was going through it. I was like, I can't. I maybe I should move back home. I don't know. And then Mitzi offered me like this is like the late 90s, like to come and do some work at her house and stuff. And I thought, okay, I could do that. Then I'll try to get auditions and just meet people, whatever. I was so lost. And then my friend called me with this audition for the wrestling show, and this was 99, I think. Yeah, I think it was like 99. So I'm working for Mitzi, during the day, and I'm waiting tables at night. And there was a big scandal. So we got rid of the managers doing the waitresses schedule. So I technically became the head waitress, but there was really no such thing as the head waitress. But I was doing the schedule. And me and the girls, like, just call each other like, hey, I can't do it tonight. All right, let's shuffle. You know what I mean? Because the managers would write them up or do something stupid and everybody was getting fired or quitting. Like it was just easier if we did it ourselves. And I think it's still like that. I think there's still a waitress in charge. I don't know, but anyway, luckily I don't have to do it no more. But so we had like a tight ship. And my friend called me with this audition and I wasn't gonna go to it because I was like, it's for wrestling. I don't want to be a wrestler. And then they were like, yeah, but it's on TV and it'll be fun. They were like, do some characters. And it was like late night and we were at the Comedy Store and my best friend Freddie Soto was there. I remember Joe Rogan was there, and they're like, just do a character, like just go in and fuck shit up. So we went in my car, and I had like a baseball bat, and I came in with this baseball bat, and I'm like, "Rah!" And I was doing this crazy character, and they're like, do that. So I went and I did it, and people were afraid of me. They were like, and they took my audition. They were like, all right, this bitch is fucking crazy. So my friend was a producer on it, and she was an assistant producer, whatever, to the big guy. And she was saying she was going through all the things, and she goes, "Why'd you skip over this one?" He goes, "That girl's a little crazy." She goes, "Yeah, that's a character. And he goes, oh, and like he's running around. He goes, it was a little too much. The baseball bat, like she was swinging it."
Like at me.
But my friend is trying to like get me this gig technically. And her name was Corey, Freddie's wife, Freddie Soto's wife. And she was like trying to get me this gig. Like, yo, but hire her. Cause she was doing this job that she liked it, but she would prefer if she could have friends. You know what I mean? Like if we could work to
Totally.
get know people. So she was like, keep it, check it out again. And then David McLean, he watched it again. And then he goes, all right, we'll bring her in. Meantime, I'm chain smoking cigarettes. I might be on Marlboro Lights, but I'm heavy into smoking. Um, you know, not in shape, but not out of shape, like a fat, skinny girl, whatever you call, like just
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I
Yes.
stopped playing sports, so I wasn't as active, and all my life I was always active, and I got my heart broke in a couple of years, so I kind of just like lulled out, and then got too skinny from not eating, you know what I mean? And then put on some weight from going back to eating after I was more on the other side of the depression. So anyway, so I go there and I'm just fucking with people, and I started making everybody laugh. And when the trainer showed up, and I was up at the top of the ramp at the Inglewood Forum smoking a cigarette, and they go, uh, are you here for WOW? And I go, yeah. And they go, oh, you're gonna be good. So they made me sit on the wall. You had to sit, you know that exercise where you sit on the wall for a few minutes? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like you put your back against it. It's basically a
Oh yeah.
squat. And I
Yes.
mean, your
Yeah.
whole body shakes.
You're
I'm
shaking.
doing it. Cigarettes are falling out. I'm coughing up blood. I don't even know what's happening. They're dying laughing, right? And I'm like, you guys are trying to kill me. You're trying to kill me. All right, I get it. And then I'm making them laugh so hard that at the end of the day, I 100% should have been cut, but they didn't cut me because
Fuck
I was
yeah.
making them laugh. And they were like, we don't even need her to wrestle, really. We'll just make her talk shit. She's making fun of everybody. And I wasn't a comic at this point. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
whoa.
remember, yeah. I remember when they called me to tell me I got the job. It was like on a shitty cell phone, and I was excited about it. So then I called my mom, and I had like 12 minutes till I get home, and I called my mom and I go, "Mom, don't get mad at me. I'm gonna take this wrestling show." And she's like, "Oh, really? That's great." And I go, "I know you hate this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna do it. Don't get mad." Because she always wanted me to be a little girl, and now I'm gonna start wrestling, you know. So, and she wanted me to be in movies like she wanted to be in, but no, I'm gonna wrestle. And so she's like, they have great women characters. She does this whole thing. I'm like, really? All right. And I go, you know what? It's a bad connection. I'm gonna call you when I get home. 12 minutes. That's all it was. I get home. I call her from a landline. My sister Karen answers. She's like, yo, you're gonna be on West Wing? I'm like, what? I go, what are you talking about? She goes, Mommy's outside telling everybody. She already called the after family. You're gonna be on West Wing? I go, no, 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 no. I'm doing a wrestling show. She goes, what? I go, yeah.
Oh.
And my mother goes, if you say West Wing and wrestling in the same sentence, it sounds the same. And I'm like, it's not. Like, I'm not gonna be with Martin Sheen. I'm gonna have a woman with a mullet and a sleeper hold. Why don't you listen? Oh my gosh, you had to call everybody back up. It was so bad.
That is actually the worst when you like think something's one thing and then
Oh
you
yeah.
tell one person and it spreads like wildfire, and then it's like, and then you have to then face the like music. I've been there
Oh,
where I
it's
thought I got a gig and I thought it was like a
yeah.
legit like job, and then it really wasn't, and then everybody, and suddenly it's on Facebook. My mom's posting it on LinkedIn, and yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst feeling.
It's so embarrassing. And then going back to Mitzi's house, like I'd show up, I'd have like a Thomas collar on because I had a hairline fracture in my collarbone just from wrestling. You know, I'd have a black eye, bump on my head or something. Fingers were all taped up. And she goes, who's doing this to you? And I go, no, no. Remember I told you I took the wrestling thing? She goes, you don't have to lie to me, honey.
Oh, yeah, because I'm
And I was like, oh my God, Mitzi, I swear to God, nobody's hitting me. I'll kill somebody. Like,
Like
the complete
the only
opposite.
abusive relationship I'm in is with fucking entertainment industry. No, I feel like that's so fucking funny though. That's very
Yeah,
on
that was
brand.
my favorite kid. But they taught me, I will say that, they taught me to get in shape, helped me quit smoking, technically. Because, I mean, we would go to Manhattan Beach and run, we would do beach training weeks, and it
Oh
was
my
brutal.
God. That's
It was
crazy.
brutal. I mean, you could see like it was packs of girls just running, and then me in the back just coughing and spitting blood and just, or we do these like they put the little cones on the sand and you'd have to go in and out of them and army crawl, and I'm like, oh fuck me, man. Just they'd find me sleeping under a shaded area. They were like easy because that was my character's name, Easy Rider.
Easy. Oh my
So
God.
they
I
never
love
called me
it.
Eleanor. In
I
fact,
love that.
if David McLean, the owner of, because it's still there, WoW still exists. It's called WoW Superheroes. The girls are terrific, really,
Oh,
really
cool.
good. I was doing announcing for them for a while too. Like everyone's so good, and so if like when David still to this day, if he calls me, he'll be like, "Hi, Easy." I'm like, "No, no, we can go. We could probably go back to Eleanor. That'd be great."
My grandmother's name. Thank
My
you.
grandmom's rolling in her grave as you call me
Yeah.
Easy, as you keep calling me
Easy.
Easy.
Easy Rider. Like that's so good. That's so good. I could be your stage name in multiple arenas,
Yes,
honestly, you know.
go Easy.
The pole, you know. Um wait, okay, so then so you did the WoW show and then you were working for Mitzi and at the same and then when did the stand-up comedy kind of emerge for you?
So the stand up
Because I
didn't
feel
start
like yeah.
till uh, I, my best friend Freddie Soto, who I mentioned before, who made me go to that audition, and his wife got me the gig. Technically, she got me the gig. Um, when he passed away, at Freddie, and he was my best friend, and we like for years he would be like, you should be doing stand up, you're wasting your time. Even if you do it, because a lot of people would start doing stand up just to get agents and managers to come out and see them, and he's like, even if you do it for that, he goes, I cannot, you're the funniest person I know, and if I come to one more play where you get raped by the whole football team, I'm gonna rape you. Like, I can't. I'm done with you. Like, and he would, every time he'd come to a play, he's like, what the fuck is it?
Why
Like,
is it
here you
always
are in
that too? It's
tears.
always that, right? It's always like you're getting like raped by the whole football team.
I'm
It's like
telling you, every scene was like, ah, ah," crying, couldn't feed my kids, whatever it was some kind of crying over a rape baby. Like, it was crazy. And so he was like, I can't. And he goes, and you're doing plays in LA. No one comes to plays.
that's
No,
true.
you go to New York then. And I was like, well, it's cheaper here. And it was. We had a two bedroom for 850, a two bedroom, two bath in
Oh,
a nice
whoa.
area for 850. Like,
Wow.
it was just easier. And
Yeah.
so but I was trying, and I really wanted to be in movies. That was my big, that was, my mom always went, that was her dream, then my dream. So I was at least trying it, and then my mom would just secretly live through me, like, keep doing it. Call Tom Hanks, like constant. Um, let me get him on the horn. And so
Let me just speed dial him, mom. Yeah.
in the meantime, Tom Hanks, not him, but his people went to my dad's typewriter store to buy a certain typewriter because my dad has like really ancient, like the first ones ever
Yeah.
made. And
Yeah.
he tried to buy it, and my dad wouldn't sell it to him. I'm like, hello, I'm in
Why?
LA. I'm dying here.
Because he wouldn't give you a part or why?
You could exchange it for a part,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Come on, dad. Oh my God. That's so
But my dad didn't pay attention. Like, he used to, when I
he had no
wrestled, he'd be
idea.
like, how's the boxing going? I'm like, that's not what anyway. Are you still modeling? No, it's movies. I don't understand. Is it just what is the barrier? What is the language barrier here? And I'm not a model. You can see me. I don't get it. You made me. I have your hand. Like, I don't understand. Whatever. Uh, he's just so stupid, but whatever. So it was not involved. And then, so when Freddie passed away, I started writing this like one woman show because I thought that could be something. Like if I just tell these stories about my family. Well, unfortunately, the same year Freddie passed, I got engaged to Andrew Dice Clay, and
Okay.
we were very close. You know, we were together for like 4 years at that point. We got engaged 3 or 4 years. I forget. It all blurs together now. And then Andrew, we got engaged, and then Andrew, like when Freddie died, I couldn't put it together. I couldn't keep it together. And then 20 days after my friend Freddie passed, my grandmom died. And so I was gone. I was gutted. I was like, okay, I can't get it together at all. And so I'd be like, just, I don't know. I ruined my relationship with Andrew. I'll say that. That's what I did. And I probably did it intentionally. And then he didn't know where any of it was coming from. Like he couldn't figure it out. He didn't know how to handle it. So we just kind of, but not like in a fighting. We just were like, cool, dude, when let's just split up
Fist
for a
bump.
minute.
Let's just like,
Fist bump,
yeah.
cool.
Thanks
And
for the memes.
so we
Yeah.
did, and we stayed close because I would still help with his kids, but they knew I was just not. And so anyway, so we split up, and then I started taking this writing class because I was trying to figure out how to write it, and then that didn't work because I'm just not studious. I don't know. I don't know what's
But
going to happen in here, but they should take this and study it because it's a problem. And I will donate it. Please take this, figure it out, and then don't ever make anything the same like this again. So learn from your mistakes. This is a problem. So I literally couldn't. So I wrote what I wanted to write. I didn't listen to this lady. I just did it the way I wanted. And then I
yes.
called Mitzi, or my friend Adam Barnhart put me on his show in on the West Side at the West Side Theater. And it was fine, but it was all people I knew. So I was just telling story, but it was all my waitresses. It was all, you know what I mean? And Adam Barnhart and I are good friends. So it was like, all right, I'm in front of people I know. And then he had another show at the Comedy Store, which is more just people coming in, random people coming in. So it's not all your friends. You know what I mean? So I went and I called Mitzi and I said, hey, would it be okay if I work out this one person show? She goes, great. That's what the belly room's for. Whoopi Goldberg did hers up there. Great. So then I call Andrew and I go, I don't want you to think I'm stalking you, but I'm going to go and try this, let's work this one woman show out. And Andrew goes, all right, I'll be up there. I'm like, no, I'm not inviting you. So he came with his girlfriend, and I was on stage, and I only say he came with his girlfriend, meaning because like we were that close. Like I didn't care. I was like, cool. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for you. You know what I mean? I only wanted him to be happy because I was messed up. It had nothing to do with him, right? So he came, and she was having such a good time and like watching other comics. And then I went on and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna bomb in front of his girlfriend and him. And so I went on and I was telling the stories, and it was going okay. I had a few like stories, and also at the time Andrew and I had a show on VH1 that was airing.
Oh yeah.
And so it was like a reality show. It didn't do well, but it was
Is
there.
that was that Dice? No. That's not
Dice
Dice.
Undisputed.
Oh, okay, got it.
Dice Undisputed? Dice Undisputed. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the producers didn't listen to anything here. You know how we do those videos, me and Andrew? We
Yeah.
were doing them back then too, but longer
They're
form.
so funny.
But we were doing longer form, and that's what we sold it on. And then they made us do everything opposite of what. So he was like, forget it. It's just.
As they do.
Right. But it
Yeah.
was already on. So we were whatever. And so what happened was this guy passed out in the audience. So I just started, I was like, oh my God, I go, am I killing? You know, like I started making fun of it. Am I literally killing right now? Is this how someone kills? And I'm trying to keep the rest of the audience from panicking while they see if this guy's okay. But I'm still making jokes because in my brain, I was raised by Mitzi at the store, who's like, there's a show, you know, show must go on. Somebody has to keep control of the audience. So the
Yeah.
comics, that's their job. So it's stuck in my head and I did that. And then the guy was fine. Apparently he didn't eat. And so he just passed out. So we got him peanuts because we didn't have food at the store. And then I continued to roast him for the rest of my set. And Andrew was like, I love it. This is what it is. You got to come on the road with me. He goes, you're going on the road with me. We have our show. We'll promote it. This will be great. And I'm like, no, I'm not a comic. And I went on the road with him for
Oh my gosh.
3 months. I had 3 months to prepare to go on the road
Wow.
with him. And it
That's
was
crazy.
so brutal. So brutal. Like our first gig, I practiced. My friend Adam Barnhart helped me set up. That's 7 minutes. All I needed was 7 minutes, and I did it. And we went to Northern California. People loved it. Andrew goes, "Don't worry, they're
Where? Okay. Oh yeah.
Reading, and
Oh
then
yeah. That's where I'm from, near there.
okay, and then the other one
Yeah.
was like a wine country ish, some
Oh, Napa?
Sonoma.
Sonoma. Yeah.
And okay,
Yeah.
and then so we did the first one, that went great. That was in a theater. We did another one in Sonoma that was like a makeshift, but it was still 1,200 people or something, and the electricity went out. So I was on stage all cocky because I just had a good show the night before. I'm like, bitch, might as well just call me Pryor, huh? I'm in it.
Yeah.
Cocky, and the mic went out. And then Andrew pulled me off the stage and he's like, don't. It took him an hour to fix it. And he goes, if you don't want to go on, don't worry about it. We'll just put the other guy on wheels, another opener. And I had a picture of Freddie in my pocket and I was rubbing it. And my friend Wheels
Oh.
came up behind me and he goes, even he can't help you now. And it made me laugh, but I did go back out and I did okay. Then we went to New York. The show was canceled, our VH1 show. And
Oh
I'm
no.
on stage in New York and it's in the Round, theater in the Round on Long Island. And I had this cute little half bra, cute little top, short shorts, high boots, because Andrew said I should dress sexy to show off my tough attitude. I'm just literally showing my lips. That's what I was showing. And I went on and I said, I'm from Philly, and they started booing from the sides, the front, and the back. And I was like, I mean, a hard booing.
Oh my
My
God.
sister drove up from Philly. So she was there by herself. At that moment, I forgot. But they're going, fuck Philly, fuck that. And they're going, where's Dice? Where's Dice? I think the only line I got out was when they said, where's Dice? I'm like, he's up my ass. You want to tickle his feet? Like, 'cause I just went right back to the hood and then right back to just talking shit. And at one point, I'm trying to do my act and it's like blurry, like it felt like. And I saw my sister sitting there and she stood up. And this is my sister, who's 10 years older. And she put her arms in the air, like, what do you want to do? You want to fight this whole fucking room? I'll start here. You start over there. We'll meet in the middle. And it made me kind of giggle in my head, like, like the papers would read, two South Philly girls tried to fight Long Island. You know what I mean? Like, it
Like
was,
all of them.
it was just, because her face was like, I'll fucking kill everybody in this section. Like, and she will. She's got that strength. And so I was like, oh shit. So I wrapped it up. I got off stage and Andrew was like, I'm not going out there. They can't disrespect you like that. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They want to see you. They don't want to see me. Go out there. And he had the best set of his life because he was so angry. And I went upstairs. I called my mom. My brother Tommy was like, don't worry. They booed Blondie. And I'm like, that's not helping. That's not helping.
That's so irrelevant to this
So,
entire
I know.
experience.
I'm so angry right now. Like, please get off the phone. And
Yeah.
but I get that he was just trying to help, and so like
Totally.
I whatever. It was brutal. I was sweating so bad that my bra slipped down. It was like I had tumors on my side. It was awful. And then I bombed again the next night in Jersey. And then Andrew fired me. That didn't technically fire me. He goes, if you really want to do this, you have to work at it every night. So we'll revisit in a year. And we did. I had to re-showcase in a year for him. And I worked my ass off. They say you can't do a lot of spots in LA. That's not true. I mean, maybe now after the pandemic, it might be, but before BC, if you will, before COVID, it was, you can do them anywhere. And it's starting to come back where it's in restaurants, where it's in bars, and I was doing, I don't know, 5 sets a night, between 3 and 5 sets a night. And for LA, that's really good. And I wasn't passed at any club. So I was just hustling, and I had a full-time day job.
And
So
you were still working for Mitzi at this time when you
no,
were.
I quit the
Oh,
store. I quit the
okay.
store. I quit the store because well, for a number of reasons, but I quit. I was going to move back east. That's right. Me and Andrew broke up. I
Oh,
was going to move
okay.
back east. I put a deposit on an apartment in New York City.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Yeah, and then Andrew proposed, and I didn't go, and then Freddie died, and then
Oh,
all that shit happened, and then I did showcase, me and that guy Wheels showcased against 2 guys from New York to work for Andrew in Vegas. He had a residency, and we had a better response with the audience, so Andrew took us on, and then
okay.
eventually got rid of Wheels and just kept me. But just Wheels was doing other stuff, like whatever. But it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy, but it was hard. I mean, it is hard to like hustle, but when people say, "Oh, I'm a comic," and I'm like, "Oh, where do you go up?" And they're like, "Well, I have a show in like 2 months." I'm like,
You're like,
I
no.
can't help you. I can't help you.
Yeah. I
I'm
get it.
sorry.
No. It's like a.
It's either there or it's not. If you're doing it to just get out of something, like get out of your own way, then I get that. Then I get
Yeah.
that. Then you're trying, and
I
and
think
you're not taking spots away from people.
totally.
But there are comics that like really, really get it hard in the paint, if you will. That's a basketball term, sorry. But go hard in the paint. It's it, and it's true. You have to do that, or it's not worth it, or it's not
Yeah,
real. It's the same thing with writing. You know that if you
totally.
like, I don't call myself a writer because I
Yeah.
know I have 90 unfinished things here. I can't do it. And I've taken 80 classes.
Totally.
Like I'm an idiot. So I get it. But I do other
No.
stuff.
No, but I get what you're saying because I feel like for me, like people ask me what I do, the first thing I always say is I'm a writer. But I also have done a lot. I've acted in stuff.
Sure.
I write music with my boyfriend, but like because he's a fucking composer, like I couldn't do
Yeah.
that shit. I just know how to come up with a melody and some lyrics, And I think like I had never ever done stand up and I just was like I was helping my friend who write jokes and she's like, dude, you're so funny, you just have to try it for yourself. So I tried it and I've been trying it, and for me it's really about just getting out of, like what you said, it's like about getting out of my own way, to be honest.
Which
It's
is
like,
great. That's great.
Kendall,
There's
like, yeah, it's like there's something about it, like standing in front, just bearing your fucking like in
Oh
front of a
yeah.
crowd. And for me, I just found it very liberating because I've just felt like I've been writing stuff and writing stuff and writing stuff, and I've just felt sort of voiceless because I've
Mm-hmm.
had all these icky men and all these deals and all this shit. So I think for me, I'm like, this is doing stand up and doing it this I do this women's night, and it's just therapeutic, for me. But I get what you're saying, where like
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna call yourself a comic, like you have to be doing
Yeah,
shit
and
like that.
even look, my first love is acting.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I say I'm a comic, I'm like, I'm an actor too, but But I don't.
You are an actor.
Yeah, but I don't get enough work as an actor to say
Yeah.
I'm an actor, and I get it. And
I'm a
even when
thespian.
even before I used to say, "Oh, I'm trying to get into acting," like I wouldn't ever say I'm an actress because I wasn't working, and it bugged. People would be like, "Why don't you just say you're an actress?" I'm like, "But I can't lie." But everybody's like, "You have to lie." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I know it is,
But
like
that was
this,
my
like,
first love, for
and so,
sure,
okay, and like, okay, let's talk about, because so
and musical
being,
theater.
yes, same. Like I was, as you know, I was the royal gatekeeper with the pin curl. Like that was like that was my. If anybody wants to find you, this feels like weird to say after our like into, but if anybody wants to find you, like
I live at 8
like physically, what was the street name you grew up on and your social security? No, I'm just
my
kidding.
social is, it's really
No, I'm
easy to
kidding.
remember.
Where can we
No, but
find you on social media?
yeah, like Instagram, all that. I put it in as EJ Kerrigan, and I'm slowly like, I should have put Eleanor. Like, I'm such an idiot. But I think even if you put Eleanor Kerrigan, it comes up. But
Yes, it
EJ
does. I
was
think.
that's my initials, Eleanor Joyce. So I always put
Uh-huh.
that. Plus, I was in love with a guy named Johnny, so I always wanted to keep the J there.
Love that.
And so
We love
that was when I
that.
was a kid. But people call me EKG. I'm like, no, that's not the initials. Like you, anyway. But it's just like EJK. But so
Okay.
EJ Kerrigan on everything. I think
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I haven't joined those break-offs yet. I can't do
I
it.
don't even know what the names of them are. There's so much to keep up with.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
why are you on Twitter? You have to be on this. Those are racist Trumpers. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. I just
I don't know
post.
what the app
I
is.
don't read everything. I can't. I
Oh,
saw
it's
porn
always
on there.
changing.
I saw porn on there. It's fine. It's doing fine. I saw a girl literally sit
Is
on the
this
back of a
OnlyFans?
truck. Huh?
Not on OnlyFans.
On Twitter. She
Oh,
had a skirt on. She took her underwear off. And you know, on the back of a truck, they have that little thing to latch on so they can
yeah.
haul stuff.
Yeah.
She had got herself
Okay.
off on that.
Oh my
That's the
gosh. You
last
should
thing
have
I
like tried
saw
to
on
at least
Twitter.
monetize that and put it on OnlyFans. I'm like, what did she do? That's a
I'm
bad
like,
business
this girl's
model.
giving it all away for
Just
free.
for
She's
free.
not
Like,
smart.
what are we doing? Um, I
So
don't
I
know.
didn't do threads. I haven't.
Oh, I can't do threat. God, I can't do
I don't know
threads.
what it is. I'm hoping young people get upset and don't do it, and then they get rid of all of it.
I barely understand TikTok. Yeah. Um, okay, well, I follow Eleanor. She's fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
Dice is like you and Dice do these hilarious just sketches, things that make me laugh.
Yeah,
And your stand-up bits that you post and
I try.
hit her up. Like if anybody listening to this has money, we want to make a movie. So
yes, Eleanor and I have a pickleball comedy with Leslie Jones. Think Bridesmaids meets Dodgeball, except for it's pickleball, and we are currently looking for funding. So if you got some money or you're a financier, hit a bitch up. You can email me at Kendall and Wonderland podcast at gmail.com.
Kendall in Wonderland.
No, like I'm really ADHD in case you can't tell.
How do we get to Wonderland? In your heart there is a plan that leads you to your dreams.
So please subscribe to the podcast, Kendall and Wonderland Podcast on YouTube. Follow the podcast on Instagram, Kendall and Wonderland Podcast, to stay tuned for that. And if you are interested, I am a WGA screenwriter, a comedian, actor, singer-songwriter. And yes, I'm a psychic, as I mentioned earlier. But My website, KendallElizabethMilton.com, talks about all the different things I do. I'm also a brand writer. I've written ads for brands like Apple. I write authentic, funny brand copy that people forget is an ad until they're laughing, quoting it to friends and adding it to their cart, because I believe manipulation is out and true brand connection is in. I make brands irresistible, and yours could be next. So yes, I've written, produced, acted in ads for all sorts of brands. You can see that on my website. I am also a WGA screenwriter, as I mentioned, and I have several original projects. If you are interested in reading any of them, my information is on my website. You can also email the podcast at kendallinwonderlandpodcast@gmail.com. I am looking for brand collaborators to be sponsors that are brands that I authentically would love, use, and believe in, like an avocado mattress type thing. Or I have a friend's brand called the Laurel Canyon Tennis Club. It is truly one of my favorite outfits I own. I'm kind of like Peter Griffin, where I wear the same outfit every single day. So if you want to see that outfit, it's a cute little tennis dress, but it's 70s style, like Laurel Canyon in the 70s. It's so effing cute. I get compliments on it everywhere I go. You can check out my outfit, my fit. I've linked my Instagram post wearing the fit in Fiji below. And you can use my code Wonderland to get 20% off anything on their website, Laurel Canyon Tennis Club. And everything is ethically made. It's really, really high quality. It's great pickleball fit, but also just a cute little outfit to be jaunting around in a warm climate in the summer. So I highly recommend them. I'm looking for more brand collaborators like them, products I authentically believe in, and again, I write ads, so hit me up if you want a really fucking dope ad for your brand that will actually make people genuinely laugh and want to buy it. And then last but certainly not least, I am a singer-songwriter, so I don't know if you've heard guitars playing in the back, but my boyfriend is a composer. I think he's scoring some sort of movie right now. He just worked on Happy Gilmore too. And we write music together. We are writing a Broadway musical together based off my life called Butterflies. We have released our opening number, My Big Breakdown, about me meeting Nicolas Cage on Craigslist and writing a script with him, only for, well, it to end with him accusing me of opening a portal to dark magic. But you can hear the full unfiltered story in the song. I've linked it below. And I've decided to leave you all with my Broadway musical number. So I'm going to play the first couple minutes of it. It is a 9-minute song. If you want to hear the rest, you can stream the rest of it on Spotify. And I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day, and that this podcast in some way has inspired you to believe in the impossible, to make lemons out of lemonade, and to align to your own unique dreams and path to your own version of Wonderland. So much love and light.
Fired for not smiling. How fucking sexist. You want to see stoked? Bite me, sugarfish. Do you know who I am? I'm not some phony. Nearly sold my show as an intern to Sony. Landed the pitch by befriending the chairman. Wore a German dirndl like a slutty birthday gram. I'm not kidding. My TV show concept was a satire about American girls studying abroad. I also thought writers dressed up for pitches. It turns out they don't. But it was pretty much just myself and my friend walking through the pristine halls of Sony while everyone peered at us from over their cubicles. Like, they definitely thought the talent got lost that day. But the chairman, he loved our pitch. Midway through, he said, I fucking love it. Thought it was my big break, but nothing came of it. But this time it's happening. I'm about to be a star. Life might look dismal, but I'm gonna go so far. This is my big break, my cosmic plot twist, or it's a mistake. Might go on Craigslist. Ooh, it says here here need dual aerials to work 5-year-old's birthday party. Day rate 60. I attach my glamour headshot and my friend's glamour headshot, our joint glamour headshots. We took photos with a celebrity photographer and made calendars to pass out to people on the Sony lot. It didn't really help us as writers, but anyways. Sitting on hot turf, little kids hound me. Where the fuck's Prince Eric? They crowd all around me, and it isn't better down where it's wetter. AKA my thighs bound all together, but I know what's coming. I'm about to sell my show. So done with Craigslist. This gig's $150 though. We booked this new gig for an industry panel. Talk to the crowd about our comedy channel. How did I get here? Look, there's that celeb from High School Musical. Shit, it's that guy, Greg. Worked with him last week at a Mormon wedding. Said he's famous in China. How weird is this getting? Crowd thinks I'm famous, finding it hard to say. We're only here 'cause we both got rent to pay. Meet some producer who wants to get drinks. I'll read your script, he says with a wink. Wait at a restaurant, producer is late. Said he's bringing a friend. Oh God, it's a blind date. So done with showbiz, I'm so full of rage. Then who walks in but Nick fucking Cage? Damn it, where are my red glasses? Hi, I'm Nick.
Okay, that was the first 3.5 or so minutes of my big breakdown, which you can stream the rest of on Spotify or anywhere really. I have linked the song below. Also, send that shit to Rachel Bloom if you know her, or Dolly Parton. I'm fucking serious. I feel in my soul that I'm meant to collaborate with them on this in some capacity. But thank you so much for listening. And please subscribe to the podcast, Kendall in Wonderland Podcast, on YouTube. Follow on Instagram, Kendall in Wonderland Podcast, so you don't miss another episode. It's a one-woman show over here, so these episodes are going to be coming out the first Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. PST, so stay tuned for that. When my podcast expands and I get a bigger team to support me, then they will probably be bi-monthly, but for now, it's just going to be monthly. Subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube, or I think you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, but wherever you're listening to this, subscribe to the podcast. Our next episode is going to be part 2 of my conversation with Eleanor, and we get even more just deep into the wild stories of her career and how she's made such a name for herself in the comedy world. So definitely stay tuned for that. Other upcoming guests, just so you can get excited, include my friend Nikki Soohoo, who starred in The Lovely Bones and played Wei Wei in Stick It. She also was the lead in a TV pilot I wrote and produced and directed several years back in 2018. She's wonderful. We also talk about just like crazy experiences she's had in the industry and also how to bring that feminine energy to the industry to attract more abundance and peace into your life at the same time. I also have an episode with Gabrielle Ruiz, who, speaking of Rachel Bloom, she was the star of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I met her at the Craigslist event that led me to meeting Nicolas Cage. When you listen to the rest of the song, you will hear the rest of the story. But when I say, oh, there's that celeb from High School Musical, well, there was also that celeb from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It was Gabrielle, and we became friends there. She plays Valencia in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, opposite of Rachel Bloom's character. And there's a line that I want to add into my song when I end up recording the song with other vocals. Right now it's just my one-woman show version of my big breakdown, but eventually I'm hitting Nick Cage up so he can sing that song with me. So essentially I want to add a line for Gabrielle into the song when I release the new version that's like, oh my God, it's Valencia. wait, what the hell, from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And then she goes, hi, I'm Gabrielle. Because it's like, it was always meant to be a musical, I fucking swear. Because when I went to that event, that Craigslist event, I ended up running into her, and I had just been binge watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It was like my favorite show at that time. And then Monique from High School Musical was there. So it was like always meant to be told in musical form, I swear. So she actually came on with her producing partner, Allison. They have this really cool female singing group in the Broadway world. And so I did a really cool interview with them. That'll be coming out too in several months, weeks. Right now, again, I can commit to the first Thursday of every month, but please subscribe because, you know, the team may grow. And I also am going to be telling wild and comedic stories from my own life, including the full unfiltered story of meeting Nicolas Cage on Craigslist. That will be several episodes down the line because I want to work my way up to that. So there's going to be a lot of fun in Kendall and Wonderland coming up. So just stay tuned. Yeah, follow, subscribe, comment on this episode if you loved it, what your takeaways were. I hope you have a magical day.